dude is ridiculous.
All right. And we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords podcast, episode number 90. And it's another glorious Sunday. We're back at the round table on the Lord's Day. I'm extremely excited about our special guest, and we've got all the latest drama regarding Fallout 76, Game Award leaks, Nintendo stream policy changes, and the Xbox One X revenue to discuss. So we're going to get right into it.
We're going to talk about that Fallout 76 Game of the Year.
Holla. It'd be
Holla. I want to introduce you.
I love that.
Silence.
So
Introductions.
great.
Silence. I want to introduce a Lord who is not only a great friend to the realm, but is also a fellow Lord of the arcade. Although this Lord is extremely outspoken and his strong opinions may rub some the wrong way, this Lord is always invites healthy and respectful debate with the sole focus of doing what's right by the gaming community. Introducing the creator and host of the Basement Arcade Radio Podcast, the media bias and console fanboy destroyer on Twitter, and the Lord with the best Batman impersonation you will ever find in a Best Buy parking lot. Making his return into the realm of the Lords, my man, Lord BRAP Podcast. How you doing, sir?
Woo! Woo! I'm here with the four horsemen of gaming, baby.
Oh, see, and you know what? What you just stole right there was my fraud alert, because there was some people that was running around here acting like they're the four horsemen of gaming, and the four horsemen reside here. I'm war. So I want y'all to understand, I'm the first one in, I'm the last one out. I'm war. So anytime you call war, that's what you're gonna get.
Woo. I don't know, man. Woo. You joined the Google Hangout class.
Well, hey,
you do leave too. You usually leave first too. So
you know what I can say about that? Where were you yesterday?
Man,
we had
a podcast yesterday, man. I don't even know about that. You guys been doing stuff without me?
Let's check that out, though. See that? You see that? What that say? What that say over there? Drink that. Shut up.
Yo, no. First of all, BRAP, thanks for coming on, man. It's a pleasure to have you back. It's been a minute, man. How are you doing, sir?
I am doing very well. It's been a long time, man, since I've been on last, and I'm happy that you all were kind enough to invite me back to the realm, and man, I'm just happy to be here and ready to talk some video games and have a good time.
No doubt, man. Absolutely, man. We had to do it. You know what I'm saying? Lord, in your realm, we love what BRAP Podcast is doing. So it's only right. We bring you back, show you that proper respect from our day ones, man. So we're going to get into it. And we have the original four horsemen of gaming, those Lords of the Realms here at the table. My co-host with the co-most, my brother from another mother, the difficult game conqueror, and the how of the young wolf. My man, Lord Addict, how you doing, sir?
Pretty good. Playing Pokemon. I'm gonna call this Pokemon 0.5 because I'm not even giving this a full Pokemon status. But having a pretty good morning. Still half asleep, so because it is 11 a.m. When are we going back to 1, man? That's what I want to know.
You got 2 more weeks. Literally, after the next 2 shows, we're done with 11 a.m. It's in the bushes.
God.
It's in the bushes. I know.
This right here. Yo, I'm going to tell all of you.
This is we can't even.
This is for the love of you.
This is for the love. This for the the Lords are putting up with me right now. They are definitely, and they have been troopers. In 2 more weeks, we go back. So I know. 1 p.m. Eastern will return.
But other than sleep,
I have no problem with 11 a.m. Thank you.
So Saul was about that 11 a.m.
No, he about that BS life, man. He about that. I haven't slept yet. Like, for real though.
Isn't Sovereign the only one that don't work at night?
Yeah, I'm the only
only day walking.
I'm the only normal person here.
Exactly.
Oh, so now we're not normal because we work during the night shift. Get out of here.
We the vampires of the group.
I am happy that you're back. Hopefully your mic holds up through a whole podcast. We would like to have you for a whole podcast.
Wow, he went at him.
Wow. But that's my man that I miss. And of course, we have our most technical gaming lord, the solo gamer who lives for the single player selfish experience, and also the Sostradamus, Mr. Offline Profile Illuminati and Lord Patreon of the Iron Bank. My man, Lord Sovereign, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing all right. Considering the week I've had, I'm good. I'm glad to be here. You know, I had some up and downs this week. Had to put my grandfather in hospice care, and that's never an easy thing. And it's like, if you're from New York, and particularly the Bronx, like you hear the name Calvary Hospital, you know that's the last.
Yeah, facts. Especially coming from New York, Ortiz Hospital. Whenever you hear that, I be funeral stuff. Yeah, so I hope things are better, man.
Yeah, so that's very tough. That's very tough. And then on a brighter note, Friday was my 5-year anniversary. So shout out to ladies.
It's our anniversary.
My much better half. She is an amazing woman. So we went out for dinner. We went to she took me out to my favorite spot, Plataforma. So we got to meet the meat in the mead. Yeah, we got the meat in the mead on, and we did.
Did you get the LeBlanc drink?
Of course, he got the LeBlanc, baby.
You know how that goes. I got the LeBlanc. Oh, and they had extra stuff this time. Like the salad bar was crazy. They had some octopus salad. They went off. They had a whole pernil. They were walking a whole pernil around the whole place. Like they added some holiday stuff.
That's what's up. Yo, shout out to the chat. J-Dub, everybody's in there saying, the Cat Daddy saying, prayers to your pop.
Thank you,
I got you in a second.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you, guys.
Thank y'all, chat. That's very appreciative, man.
Well, after dinner, I had been faking her out for weeks already. I had told her that I was taking her to a show. So she was hoping that it was Lion King, but I was faking her out completely, right? So at dinner, she asked me one last time, like, is it Lion King? And I put on the straightest, most disgusted face, like it. And I looked at her, I said, babe, like, if that's what you're expecting, I'm sorry, you're going to be really disappointed. It was one of those,
you played it good.
I played it super good. So then when we walk into the theater, like, I'm taking detours to not go right down the block. And when we finally get to the front of the theater and go in there, she starts to cry.
That's what's up.
And this is something she wanted to teach. She was a little girl, and this is like a 20-year-old show at this point. Yeah. And it is a magical thing to see. And you know how I do. When I do it, I do it. So we were front row was taken. So I got second row. So she was right there when the animals walked by her and everything.
Which version did you get? You got the Xbox One X version, or did you get the X4 Pro?
This is the Scarlet version. This is the live and direct.
Yeah, the Scarlet live and
Scarlet.
No doubt. That's
Scarlet version. You guys not telling me something? Did you Fast and the Furious like a truck going down the road? And like, what's going on? Why you got Scarlet?
I think it's feisty this morning. That's what's up, man. Good. Congrats on the anniversary, Soft. Shout out to Lady Soft, putting up with all the podcast foolishness that we put you through.
He's a good sport.
No doubt. And we will be taking care of business later, sir.
Yes, we will.
Iron Bank business. Okay, no doubt.
Yeah.
And of course, we have the Incredible Hulk of this, aka the Excess Gamer. The cops here. Listen to the cops.
They coming. You hear that?
They heard.
You hear that? They coming.
Soon as your part, they will come. The Lord of Combat Sports was a man of his convictions. The man's nothing less than the premium experience and is the leader of the Fraud Alert movement. Oh, beloved Lord King. How you doing, sir?
You know exactly how the hell I'm doing. I'm doing like Deontay Wilder last night, wilding out on people.
All right, I'm gonna go get something to drink. I'll be back.
Take yourself to the bathroom. All right, go sit down for a taste. Yo.
Let's go.
Yesterday was magical. Yo, it's nothing like a heavyweight fight in America. It's nothing like a champion going up against another worthy champion. It's nothing like it. It's like the electricity in the room was magical. It was bananas. It was so incredible that you felt it. You felt it, right? So I'm not gonna get too much into exactly what went on. You look at the Combat Sports. Is up there. So check that out. But two fighters live in a moment. You saw Tyson Fury walk to the ring, and I don't care what nobody say, that brother was living his truth. Walking out that door, he was living his truth. He didn't care who was looking at him. It was like he was alone by himself singing his favorite songs, going to the ring because he reached his mountaintop. He was at the depths of despair, and he clawed his way back to respectability and got in that ring and showed exactly what a champion is supposed to do. Then the real champ walked out, and the real champ walked out like the champ's supposed to come out. Because when you saw Tyson come out, you was like, "Oh, how Deontay gonna beat that?" Then you saw the champ come out, and you was like, "Oh, there it is." Though.
Just out of curiosity, did your champ win?
Yes, my champ did.
He didn't. He didn't.
They said that the fight was fire. Now, before you start, King, I just want to say I did not watch it.
Right.
But watching Twitter and seeing the reactions of everybody, I was like,
I felt like boxing was alive for a couple of seconds.
It took me back to like, the whole Phil Tyson day, whatever was going on. It felt that. So break it down.
I give a shout out to that whole card. That whole card felt like an old school card. Everything. Yeah, it did. Everything. It really did.
It was a showtime. Listen, Al Heyman, I've been in need of you, brother.
Thanks
for doing the things that you were able to do in this 2018 and at the level where every fight that they produced was a must-see fight that lived up to every expectation. And to cap it off with this fight, this is like the cherry on the top, the whipped cream and everything else with the sprinkles. This was so good that the drama going into the 12th round, that the champion you felt needed a knockout. He needed to do something to show something. This dude hit him with the bolt of Zeus. I'm telling you, he hit him with the bolt of Zeus and cracked him with the hammer of Thor with the left hook for good measure. There's nobody on this planet that would have got up. This dude got up like the Undertaker.
That's what I heard. Yo, the Undertaker memes on Twitter.
Yo, me and Brad was going. We was talking the whole time. Like the whole time we talk. I'm talking with J-Dub. I'm talking with everybody that I could actually talk with. Let me tell you. I've never seen nothing like that in my life.
I've never seen anything like that. That Tyson Fury getting up like that.
Yo,
the position he got knocked out was like a crime scene.
Yo, the meme that you saw, it was kind of sped up.
Yeah.
All right, because when he got hit, he laid there like he was dead. I yelled out, "My man caught a body." He caught the body he was looking for. He's dead. I thought he was dead. I swear.
Yo, shout out to Paulie Malignaggi because he pointed this out and it's true. Most refs would not have even counted.
No, but the ref wasn't counting.
King said the cocaine kicked in. That's how he got out.
When you see his eyes, I swear he was out. He was out. His eyes was closed, and then it said, "Boom, yo," and he popped up. The coke kicked into his body. Listen, you know what? First of all,
he's saying he got like the game over screen. He clicked yes.
He got super cocaine from Hitman.
Let me first say allegedly.
Allegedly, that's true. We gotta protect ourselves.
All right, I want to say allegedly. First of all, I don't want to discredit this man for his heart and his tenacious, his furor to get into that ring and to give everything that he had because he left everything there. Both of those men did. At any point in time, both of those men could have packed it in, but they didn't. They both hugged and embraced at the end of the fight.
Respect.
But I'm going to tell you this.
Here we go.
And I'm going to say this, and I want y'all to investigate it on your own. Why the hell was Freddie Roach in this man's corner? He never trained this man ever a day in his life. But for this fight, Tyson Fury had energy from a man who was 400 pounds. Got down to 265 pounds. He had energy from round 1 to round 12. He looked like the same dude from round 1 to round 12.
Wow. At that weight? Yeah, that's impressive.
At the same time, early Manny Pacquiao used to look the same way with Freddie Roach.
Oh, I know where you're going.
Don't ever get it twisted. But I hope to God he don't come back. His urine is dirty. I hope to God it doesn't. I hope
he got the Panama Lewis special.
You know, wow.
But did he go to dialysis?
He went to the DR, got the dialysis.
Drink this. It's tea.
Drink this. It's tea.
I want to step back from it and just say I hope not, because it was a magical night, and it deserved to end in a draw. And I want y'all to go look at the Combat Talk to figure out. And I gave you round by round, and I explained how boxing actually works, how the scoring system works, and what it means when you have two heavyweights of that magnitude and the promoters that's involved. So just go check that out.
Combat Talks up, y'all.
And we can debate about it. I don't care. I really had a dog in the fight because I really wanted this young man to win and continue to his growth, because he started boxing at a very late age and to become a bronze medal champion in the Olympics. That is beautiful. So,
Boss Move said Fury on them sensu beans, King.
Boss Move was hitting me up the whole time too. Boss Move know what the deal is, man. Come on, man. Let's get it.
What you been playing though? You been playing? Got a chance to play anything? PlayStation?
No, I've been playing
Nino Kuni. That's what's up. No doubt. And of course, we have the gaming ninja himself, the Shinobi, LordCognito, spreading that realness in the realm of the ILP. Not telling you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. So yeah, man, for me, it's been my glorious Master Race PC debut. You know what I'm saying? Destiny 2, man. Soft Addict. Oh, kid, your bro. 1080p uncapped frame, ultra settings, ambient inclusion, field of view. And I got my Xbox Elite controller gang for life, y'all.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang. So yeah, man, I've been rocking it hardcore. Shout out to Def Sing in the chat, baby. I picked up the XCOM Tactical Pack, which currently right now is PC exclusive. Yes, Undead. It's been very glorious. Thank you. Yeah, man. Speed, the resolution. Like I was telling the Attic offline, they have like narrative. Basically, they have throwback missions, King, to XCOM, like when we first played the first ones.
Yeah.
And you're playing as the guy that's always instructing you, like Commander. That guy, like back when he was before it went left, and you're out in the field, and it's being narrated while you play. So it feels like you get at it.
It's pretty much like the time frame right after they blew up the alien home base up into the second one.
Yeah, man, and it's just dope. It feels like a Vietnam setting. We're losing people there, and you get to play as him. You've got that. They've got these different challenge modes. Picked it up on a good Steam sale, so I was doing that. State of Decay 2. Shout out to Fogey and the crew, man. Louis Yepes and the crew. Zed Hunter. I played that on PC just to test Xbox Play anyway. Let me tell y'all something right now.
Yep, Phil winning.
Phil, bro. Let me tell you. Not only was BRAP, it's so easy, and it transferred everything I did on Xbox, my achievements, where I was, my data. I didn't miss a beat. And to be able to go back and forth, you know what I'm saying? Like, man,
it's the future.
It's the future. And now it's like, I get it from a fanboy's perspective, like, the exclusive or not. Bro, it's more options, man. Now I'm a PC gamer. I don't feel separate from my Xbox. I can literally still just continue doing what I'm doing. So, yeah, man.
Let me ask you a question, Cognito.
Yeah, go for it.
Because we were on Scumcast yesterday, and, a lot of guys had their panties in a bunch. No, it's not getting dangerous. I'm dangerous. So that a lot of dudes had their panties in a bunch about Microsoft being able to play in the PC arena, and what I explained was that their pedigree was from there. So cutting that off was retarded in the sense that why limit yourself when you had these options, and the fact that you got a chance to test these options out. Do you feel that that's a good avenue for them, and because somebody in the podcast yesterday said they should have been doing that decades ago.
Interesting. Well, the whole thing, my opinion on it, first of all, it is fantastic. The feature is seamless. You know what I'm saying? The only complaint I would say is that the Xbox app could be a little updated, a little bit better. I mean, not updated in the sense that like how Discord and other things kind of play in the background. I would like that to play in the background, so achievements, and I mean, like I could party chat. You can party chat and do. I just want the app to stay active in the background, so to speak. It does. It's not that it doesn't. It's just that, what I'm saying, like usually you're in your game, you're focused on your game, kind of thing. But I love it. It's just seamless. There's no difference.
Yeah, I did my Cuphead and stuff, and I've done that. The only reason why I'm asking, because I haven't asked anybody that was on the panel that.
Yeah.
See, you know, like all the stuff that, you know, I talk to other people, but
Cross play.
Party chat.
Every party chat, everything's there. My achievements there. And that's the big thing. Like for the achievement hunters, you know, when you go to PC, I always felt like, you're playing on PC, it don't mean nothing because you ain't really getting them achievement. Like you getting them achievements that, you know, it's adding to your score. So it's like, it's just a good thing, man. More options. There's nothing. If you don't like PC, you don't have to play PC. You know what I'm saying? Don't like Xbox, get PC. They want you there. So it is really, it's a win-win for Microsoft. It's just more of a fanboy, foolish option thing. You know, they feel a way about stuff, but that's just me. That's how I feel about it. But shout out to Discord. Because, man, I don't know how the hell y'all PC gamers was playing without Discord. That's the Xbox Live. It's really lit. You know what I'm saying? So that's a Geeky Nerd says the option is nice, but it sort of limits the console install base, in my opinion. They about making the money. They about making money on software, man. That's what they want to do. They want to make that money on software. That's how I feel. But anyway, that's all I got. That's pretty much what I've been doing. So actually, Lord Sov, do you want to jump in and then I'll do my announcement after your announcement?
So okay. Okay, what announcement are you making?
All right, the announcement I made is I got some new waves to announce.
Okay,
from World Swag.
That's right. Okay, I'll do everything else. All right. So it's Patreon time, baby. Let's go.
Let's go. Pay the bills, baby. Let's pay the bills.
Thankful. So let's start with our Patreon thank yous. Thank you so much, guys. Obviously, we say this every month, but we appreciate everything you guys do for us. So let's start with our shout outs. I'm going to start out with Lord Corey Lydick.
Woo! Whiskey.
Thank you very much, my brother. PlayStation Bra. Thank you for my friend. Thank you so much. Lord Kareem H, aka QX7 Masters. Thank you so much.
Salute. He knew. That's a new Patreon. I like new names.
Salute. Welcome to the round.
Welcome to the round.
Lord Chris Williams, aka Fastback.
That's the holy shout out to the Mustang, the Lord of Mustangs.
The Lord of Mustangs. Thank you so much, man. Lord Ahmed Hernandez. Sounds like a wrestler name. Thank you, my brother.
He's new. It's new names on his Patreon.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate all your support. The Lord of not Back Compat anymore. The Lord of Project
X Cloud.
Lord Bill Stillwell. Thank you.
Salute to the great man. Much appreciated.
Lord Ricky Moore Jr., aka Lord Twos. Thank you so much for the support, man.
Salute. He's new too. I think he's fairly new.
Yeah, he's only been here a month, so thank you so much. The original Patreon subscriber himself, Michael Lugo, Monkey Punch. Thank you, my brother.
Shout out to Punch. He was first in the chat today. First.
Oh yeah, always.
Salute.
Punch is amazing. Followed by Lord Spoonman. Thank you for
Spoon be riding. I love Spoon.
Oh, yeah, Spoon goes hard.
He goes off ILP. Salute to Spoon, man. See him in the chat. Much appreciated, sir.
And a big shout out to our friend Jay Fonzarelli. Thank you so much, my brother.
The Fonz. That's her homie. That's fam. That's fam. What can you say that's bad about the Fonz?
Exactly. And the godfather of the stream team himself, Lord Snaldo, Peter Leone.
He's in the chat. He said, keep taking my money.
Take it all.
No doubt, bro. Shout out to the stream team leader. That's our guy right there.
And this is right here, family from the cradle to the grave, Lord Loaded Pixels himself.
Ooh, Cobera.
Thank you so much, my brother. And of course, the man with every single Iron Lord t-shirt ever created, Lord Cat Daddy Fat Stacks.
Cat Daddy gonna put us out of business, man. We ain't got enough shirts to wear.
We don't got enough shirts for him, man.
Thanks.
Of course, our brother from overseas, Lord Death Singer. Thank you so much.
The rider.
Death, I hope you got your shirt already. One thing I did not realize about Teespring is that Teespring only ships on certain schedules. So if I place an order in, there's no guarantee it's shipping out soon. So I hope you got your shirt already.
Let us know, man.
And then last but not least, of course, Lord Optimus Code. Thank you so much.
We gotta get Cole back, man.
Cole is amazing.
Cole dropped so many gems when he came on, man. Salute to Cole, man. That's the OG, the veteran, and his technical acumen is really second to none. The Lord knows gaming. Salute there, man. So what else we got? So we got some other big.
We got to do our regular.
My bad. Go for
stuff, monthly and bi-monthly stuff, and just letting you guys know. come January, there are going to be some changes to the Patreon and certain things that we do, but I'll talk about that stuff in January in general. But for right now, yeah, we have our regular monthly giveaways, and it's also time for our bi-monthly giveaway. So we'll be giving away a game today.
Woo!
So yeah, you killing our pockets today. The Iron Bank is being left empty today. So let's start out with this $10 gift card giveaway. So we're gonna start this off, and winner of the $10.
I would do the sound, but Attic hate when I do the sound.
Yeah, yeah, it bothers him.
He hate when I do that.
Do the sound. You gotta do the sound.
So the winner of the $10 gift card is Lord Loaded Pixel.
Oh, Colbert. He haven't won in a while. All right, you got a new good number generator this time, so I like that. It don't seem fraudulent. It don't seem like they greased your palm for this.
Wow.
Shout out to Code.
Shout out to the code. Shout out to the code. So now the $20 gift card. The winner of the $20 gift card is. I don't think I paid attention. More twos.
Oh, yo, you got a new number generator, son. Yo, these are real winners today.
Congratulations.
Yo, that's 2 new names off. Okay. Fire. Collusion. We won't be accused anymore. Collusion.
No more collusion.
What we got?
So now the winner of our t-shirt giveaway, and what we're doing with the t-shirt stuff now is that basically, if you want, you can get it off of Teespring. So it'll be a t-shirt or anything under the price of a t-shirt. So sorry, guys, no hoodies. Those hoodies are kind of super.
You get that hoodie for this.
You can get a t-shirt. You can get a mug.
T-shirt. Winter's coming. Pay that tax. Continue.
So the winner of our Teespring giveaway, let's call it that, is Lord Ricky Moore again.
Yo, Ricky. So salute to Ricky, because we told y'all last month, y'all got to get in this Patreon so more people can win. And Ricky got in that Patreon, and look what's happening.
Wow.
Look what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Shout out. Yo, Anchorman do not like the drum roll either. He said, is that a drum roll or Chewbacca? Damn you, Anchor.
Why y'all hating on the drum roll?
Hating on the drum roll, son. Chief Tommy said those hoodies are made out of good material. Salute. That's what I'm trying to tell everybody, Chief Tommy.
Premium hoodie.
Premium.
Are they made of canvas material, or is that still out?
Shots fired.
I'm just wondering, because apparently canvas is in shortage right now.
I'm done with you, Brad.
Right.
No, here we go.
And now, last but obviously not least, the winner of our bi-monthly game giveaway.
Okay, this is the big one.
This is the big one. One of the big ones.
Let's go.
What? Lord Loaded Pixels yet again.
Colbert. Wow. Yo, salute Colbert, man. That's a big one. Shout out to Jonathan B. He said collusion gang. Tahi, what's up? You had it out free. Yup. Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. But that is not all, ladies and gents.
Not a big one.
Today marks the conclusion of our Super Smash Brothers Gleam giveaway. Thank you to Lord Snaldo for managing this, dishing out the band hammer when necessary, when we have bots trying to win things.
Yes. Yeah, you
guys got rid of my bots?
Yes, Attic, thank you.
A lot of fraudulent lords trying to win something for the people.
Look, man, King has made it very apparent. I'm all about the free shit. Okay,
that's right. No.
So this the big one.
So it is my pleasure to announce that the winner of the Super Smash Brothers Gleam giveaway is Lord Michael Deffrin, aka King Mike'd 824.
Okay.
Congratulations, Michael Deffrin. Thank you so much.
My cousin.
Yeah, he says my cousin. We're gonna be game sharing it. Yeah.
I can say y'all might as well just game share with him. Yo, y'all salute.
Shout out to Michael Deffrin. I will be contacting you after the show with all the info, getting you your code so you can be ready for next week when the game officially drops. And stay tuned. Very, very soon, we will be dropping our next game giveaway. I'm not gonna say what the game is just yet, but I'll leave it at that. So stay tuned for that. Thank you, guys.
Man. Salute, Lord Side Patreon of the Iron Bank. And if you see right now, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to drop in some links in the chat. The chat will get the exclusive right now. The new flavors, y'all. The new wave.
Listen, I don't know why I'm the only face, bro. I believe everybody got a camera. I can't call it, man. What y'all got to do is y'all got to put pressure on these dudes, man. Y'all got to put pressure on these dudes.
You got to make a Patreon tier for that.
See, they gotta kiss the ring. They gotta kiss.
Now I'm in my drawers, dude. Nobody need to see that.
And that's it. And you know what? That's exactly what I don't like about you YouTubers. That's exactly what I don't like about you YouTubers. Y'all are not giving the respect due to these people that is up listening. They want to see you. They want to embrace. Listen, I get dressed for you. I put you on the jewels for you. I do the beard for you. Hey, you saw the chapstick go on for you, right? So I do that for you, man. See, but these dudes, they don't care. They in their underwear talking to you. That's disgusting.
Listen, man. We kind of Lords are kind of disheveled right now, bro.
Yes. You see, you heard Brat too, right? Brat's like, oh man,
Lord lazy.
Yeah, I'm in like a t-shirt and shorts. Yeah, I don't want to see you.
I'm gonna give you the ILP shirt. I'm gonna rock that for you. I'm here for you guys.
Especially now, if you notice, I put those links in the chat. The original 4 Horsemen of Gaming cometh. It is now available on the ILP store. So rep your favorite lords. All the lords are repping. What you want to be, the excess gamer? You know what I'm saying? What you want to be, the Sostradamus? You know what I'm saying? What you want to be, the difficult game conqueror, the gaming ninja? It is up. It's finally here. Please check those out. Cop those if you like. Man, we got some more stuff coming. But yeah, man, it is up. Definitely requested. So that's what we got, man. So are you good on your side? Is the Iron Bank good?
Iron Bank is good. Iron Bank is my pockets are very thin. Thank you very much. The greasing did not go down this month.
Guys, y'all understand what t-shirts is up, right? So if y'all looking at the chat right now, right, and y'all see the logos that's up right there, like our avatars, like Addict's avatar, which is hot, and Sovereign's avatar, which is hot. LordCognito's isn't up right now because he's representative of the realm. So, but his is hot too. This is mine right here. All right. So, like I said, that's the 4 Horsemen.
The originators. Right, the originators. So links up, man. Check that out. Like I said, the 4 Horsemen of Gaming, that is up. So now that we got the business out of the way with the Iron Bank, and Lord BRAP has already been giving the ILP royal treatment in the past. Please check ILP number 26 for his incredible video game system history. But I realized something, Lord BRAP. Now that we changed our format, I will need Lord BRAP's top 5 game franchises of all time. We never got that from you. On the spot, baby. Let's go. Spit them bars.
Oh man, who said this is like being on a show and having to like freestyle or something?
Oh yeah, that's my man for Twitter. Yes, I know you too.
That's what I feel like now. I'm under the spotlight.
We gotta see if you're real. What you got?
I know last time I gave 5.
A time is punishable by death.
I mean, I'll say Zelda's up there as in no particular order as a top franchise. Oh my god, man! There's so many franchises, and coming off Red Dead 2. Jeez, man. I mean, this is tough.
It's tough. What about games that affected you? They may not even be. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be critically acclaimed. It's just something that had an importance in your life as a gamer.
I'll say Zelda, without a doubt. I mean, the Zelda franchise, without a doubt. I mean, I remember, you guys remember the graph paper making magic.
Yes,
that's old school. I mean, that's what we did, man. That's I got the NES Classic, and I watched my 4-year-old fire up Zelda. I'm just like, yo, that was me.
Yes,
that was me back in the days.
Facts.
So, I'll say that.
Number 1. That's 1.
Oh man, what else? Final Fantasy.
Okay, the Final Fantasy series. Okay,
Final Fantasy for sure.
What else we got?
Metal Gear Solid. It's like a wow moment for me.
Yes,
because that's like the first time we had like this fully immersive like world. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just because the technology had changed so much from the previous generation to that generation.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? It's funny you said that. For me, that the particular one for me was it the PlayStation 2 one where they gave us a demo? We were on like a boat.
And they tell you, no, mine when you fought Psycho Mantis and he said put the controller down and he made it move.
Yes.
I said, that was my moment. I was like,
Yeah. Like it's so many different iconic moments that I feel like Metal Gear doesn't get enough credit for. I'm with you on that, Brad.
Yeah. You know, geez, man. Halo. I'll say Halo. Okay. Because what Halo did for console first-person shooters, just it put it on the map. I mean, it really did.
Yes.
I mean, you weren't playing first-person shooters for the most part on consoles at the time.
Facts.
But
right.
It was just like Twitch type.
Yeah. You're right. It changed the game for console gamers to join the FPS space. I definitely agree with you.
Yeah. You know, I gotta give Mario, man, a shout out because I mean Mario is one of those franchises that Odyssey was like, wow, like they're still like still making like I mean Mario's been around for what 40 years?
Hold on. I gotta interrupt you. Shout out to Jonathan V. Your boss moves. You in trouble for your jokes on the chat spot. Jonathan V. Said Dead or Alive beach volleyball changed his life as a kid.
I can imagine how.
I know it did. Yo, I remember
that's hilarious.
I don't want to even talk about that.
In our perverted moments, we sat there getting the perfect camera.
Yes, sir.
Yo, shout out to what is it? Temco? Who's that? Tecmo? Who's that?
Tecmo.
Tecmo.
You know that?
Enhancing the lives of every child.
You know, that was actually a decent volleyball game.
It was.
Don't y'all try to act like the gameplay was late.
But the porn sim was fantastic.
I'm not gonna let you act like the gameplay was late, Brap.
It was really good.
No, the gameplay wasn't bad.
It wasn't terrible.
I mean,
tell me a better volleyball game.
I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Exactly, but you can think of that one, dude. Wow.
Tell me another volleyball game that you play.
Exactly.
You know why? Because it didn't have the perks. But we played that ping pong game. Remember that ping pong game that came out for the Xbox?
Oh, Rockstar's greatest game.
Yeah, it was like one of their greatest games, like ping pong. Y'all remember that ping pong? It's special little moments that if it stands out, the gameplay was there. I mean, I know the other stuff was there. Bruh.
Cat Daddy say nobody was checking for the ball physics, sir.
Yes, we were. We were checking for the ball physics.
Continue, Lord BRAP. Thankfully, Dead or Alive Volleyball is not on your list.
Well, it's a close 5 on my list.
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention. Exactly. You gotta love the work Team Ninja did. I mean, they were top of the game, man.
Yeah, Team Ninja. That's crazy. There's something else. So we got Mario, we got Zelda, we got Metal Gear. You need 2 more, sir.
Oh man, this is tough. I was thinking about Konami the other day as a developer and where they've come and gone, pretty much gone. Castlevania.
Whoa.
I mean, that game, and it's funny, I see my son playing it, NES Classic. And that game was just like, wow. I mean, it was difficult and it inspired, so many other games that we would come to love later on in the future. That's a franchise, and I've been watching the Netflix series.
Yeah, I heard good things. I've watched it.
Yeah, it's awesome,
amazing.
Yeah, I want another Castlevania game back. That's a series that Konami needs to bring back. The fans demand it.
Hey, Brad, let me ask you a question. Are you sick and tired of the Metroid style of because LordCognito said this, I think it was like 2 ILPs ago, that he wants a full like 3D Castlevania. That's all I want to know. I want to know, like, which kind of Castlevania do you want? Do you want the Metroid style that we got now that they keep permeating us with, or would you like a new like 3D?
No, I want a new 3D. I mean, even like if they took, like, I look at like Castlevania, the Netflix series, even if it was like visually like that in a 3D, I would be okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, just an imagining of the franchise. Because I mean, we've got the Metroidvania is so good, and they're king of that. You know, I'm not trying to take anything away from that. It's just that it's kind of like they need like almost like a God of War moment for me. I think to get casual guys over to say, okay, what is the whole lore behind it? Because now you got a lot of new God of War fans loving God of War and never really knew about the other stuff. So that's just how I feel about it. But yeah, man, that's a classic franchise. That's a good one, man. That's a good one. So you got
no, that is it is, and it just you got to remember it influenced so many other games. Like we talked about the Metroidvania type of games that are out now, and you see a lot of indies kind of paying their homage to that era and that kind of style of gameplay. So
last one, any generation, doesn't have to be recent, anything, bro. Come on, spit them verses, spit them.
You know what, man? I'm gonna go with what
you going with?
Man, let's see here. So many games I played that was amazing, especially this console gen. It's like, wow, you know.
But
I'm gonna go
Adventure.
What's that?
Snoopy's Adventure. Is that what you're about to
Not Snoopy's Adventure. Yeah, you're out of control. So.
Yeah, I thought Addict said Bonk's Adventure. I was like, what?
That's me.
Yeah, that's king.
You know what? I'm gonna go with The Witcher. Gotta go with The Witcher.
Even though Lord Negative says the controls are the worst.
because he's a Souls fan. He compares everything to Souls. You know, he's on that Souls hierarchy. What I like to call the Soul snobs.
Yes.
What about me? What about my
Addict? Yo, you make sense because that's why Addict doesn't like Red Dead. Yo, you made sense right there.
I don't like Red Dead because it feels. Never mind. We won't even go to that.
Yes, Addict's back. I love it going down that rabbit hole.
Look, and I'll be the first to admit the combat is not as good as Souls, but the overall game is just the storytelling, the characters. I mean, I just
don't get how we could just skip the fact that it plays like you're a rock. Like, I don't get that. Like, it's like, oh, everything else is good, but the thing that we do, that's not good, but it's okay. Like, I don't get that. Like, I don't get how people just keep like walking around the fact that the gameplay is some of the worst gameplay this gen.
You gotta remember the gameplay is Geralt's fighting styles based on fencing. I mean, if you go back to the books, and that's what his styles. And I think they're trying as best as they can to mimic that style of fencing. And so it probably doesn't translate the best, but everything else is just amazing about that game. And so I'm okay with maybe the combat not being as good. Even Assassin's Creed Odyssey, like combat isn't that great in that game. But there's so many other great things about that game where you're not thinking, oh my God, man, this combat could be better.
I don't think there will ever be a time where I won't complain about combat. The gameplay of the game. I'll walk up to someone, I might say something about, the faces off of Mass Effect Andromeda because, that's just an appearance of something else. But it's not going to get to the point where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to overlook like 80% of the game.
The chat said, "Don't get Addict started. Addict about to turn up."
But the thing is, the combat isn't so bad that it's like that it takes away from the other parts of the game.
Yo, hold on, Brad. Bold Slave said, "Name a Rockstar game that doesn't feel like Shenmue." I'm dead. Yo, they out of control.
Wow. I tell you what, the top 5 is so hard because for me, I've been doing this a long time, and I play. I mean, this year to me, this year has probably been one of the best years in gaming that I can remember.
Yep. Facts. That's what's up, man. Fantastic.
Yeah, Steve Keys was lit.
That's wow.
Wow.
Leave Bush's boy alone.
Lord BRAP, thank you for taking that freestyle on the spot. Top 5. I respect it. Was meaning to do it with you because obviously, like I said, we had changed the format. I was like, Lord BRAP, we never got that from him. So now that he's back, we got that all signed and delivered. So we're going to get into last week's poll results.
Great. People are going to start calling me the From Software snob. Thank you for that. Thank
you. Last week's poll results are in, and the people have spoken to the question. With the NPD sales success of Black Ops 4 removing a traditional single-player campaign in favor for multiplayer-centric modes, how concerned are we that other titles of the same vein follow suit with this practice? The winner at 44% was the not concerned. COD is an anomaly. 2018 has proven single-player is here to stay group. At second place, at 37%, was the very concerned. Publishers have the analytics and want to mimic similar profit success group. And in last place at 19% was the I don't care. It was all fun and games until COD stole Battle Royale mode. Thanks to all the lords who participated in last week's poll. Lord BRAP, what do you feel about this, man? Do you feel that you agree with the people that Call of Duty was an anomaly and that just because they got rid of single player, that it's still single player still here to stay?
Yeah, a single player's not going anywhere. It might be going. It might be gone with Black Ops, specifically Black Ops. I don't see the other Call of Duty franchises abandoning single player just yet. Yeah. I could be wrong though, but the single player's not going anywhere.
Would you say that?
I said wait till next year.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's a great point. Wait till next year. I mean, I'm just saying. I just think I don't see it going anywhere. With other, but I could all the Call of Duties, but I could be wrong. I mean, like I had to say, wait, they may show up at E3 with Call of Duty, they did World War II. I mean, I don't know what they're doing next.
They can't show up at E3 because Sony's not there. Sony has the marketing rights.
Oh yeah, so
so they're in the bushes. Like so.
Oh my God!
Yeah, shout out to Christopher. Yeah.
Well, if maybe they'll show up for that rumored, February event that Sony's supposed to have. Maybe
rumored.
When I say rumored,
he's so petty.
Well, even if it's in February, I highly doubt a Call of Duty. The next one will be announced there. That's way too soon.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Selfish Sony.
So it's
not a joke. Like it really is. Like they have a lot of marketing deals and stuff for them just to skip out on E3.
We got to see what's gonna happen, man. So shout out to all the lords who participated in the poll. New one will be cooking up at the end of the show. We're gonna get into these topics, y'all. So I'm gonna jump off first, and I'll be full disclosure. You know what I'm saying? We obviously gonna talk about Fallout 76, but gotta be honest, y'all. I did not want to cover this topic in the realm initially. I know you do. Most of my peers and multitude of news outlets have already covered this, and it just got to the point though with so much additional information to keep pouring in. The lords have to talk about it.
The fraud has entered the building. The fraud.
Now, what do you mean fraud? Addict's been here.
It don't matter, man. You're about to get this work on this topic.
Listen, gentlemen. Now, here's the thing. Now, obviously, we haven't talked about it, and I want to approach this differently. First of all, shout out to Lord Anchorman. He answered the Batman call. His signal was up in the air. Bethesda's signal was up in the air. He came through. So salute.
You're the first person I've ever seen who willingly come to their own death.
Wow. Addict, you of all people with your bets are one to talk.
Oh wow. Oh, that he said his
my game runs.
At least I'm not losing money.
You concerned about the condition of his knees? Is that what you said? Now listen. We gotta do this a little different.
His knees.
We're gonna do this a little different, y'all. All right, we're gonna do 5 talking points. All right, we're gonna focus on 5 talking points, and we're gonna be respectful of Lord Anchorman. We know pretty much his position, and we think we know his position. We think we know his position. Okay, good.
You don't.
we have an opinion of what we may think his opinion is, but he may surprise us. So here's the 5 topics. This is what we're gonna focus on, Lord BRAP. It's gonna be 1, the state of the game. Specifically, Lord Jason Schreier, his terminology in reference to game engine, and was that acceptable at launch? Point 2, canvas BagGate. Was this a bait and switch by Bethesda? Then we're going to go point 3. I don't know if any of you guys are aware this just happened, but it's a recent homophobic grieving scandal. And I'll break it down when we get to. I'll break it down. When
I've never heard this.
It's real. I'll put the link in the chat if you want to see it. So basically, I want to discuss because of what happened, the current grieving and reporting system in the game. So we will do that. I'll put the link griefing.
Yes. Oh, so you said grieving. I'm like,
I'm about to say grieving. I apologize. I'm about to say grieving. I'm about to say this. My bad. So we got that. Yeah. And let me give the chat that too once I finish. And then number 4, Bethesda's communication to its base regarding the updates. Is that acceptable? And does this damage the Fallout brand? And last, which would be Lord BRAP's favorite subject, the media. Has the media been unfair to the game? Is it a clickbaity mentality going around, like to kick Bethesda while they're down, that kind of thing? So let's break it back to topic one. This is what we're going to focus on first. The state of the game, you know, game engine, was it acceptable at launch? Lord BRAP, I need you to set it off first.
All right. So my issue with this game, and look, I'll give you a little bit of history. Me and Bethesda, they sit in my backyard. I have actually colleagues, friends that work there, you know, and I, you know, had tremendous amount of respect for them as a studio, and was looking for Fallout 6. But I think we can trace. We talk about the engine and some of the issues the game has. I think you kind of traces all back to Todd Howard going on E3 and kind of setting maybe an unrealistic bar or expectation for this game, given, I think, you know, previous iterations of Fallout and some of the other games that Bethesda Studios have released. I mean, he even went out and joked around, hey, you know, our games have bugs, you know, and kind of laughed about it. And I'm like, yeah, that's funny. It's true. You're recognizing it, but, you know, maybe not joke around about that too much, because the games do have, I mean, and have historically had bugs. And, you know, I think for me, I think one of the reasons why I wasn't as vocal about the bugs like in Fallout 4, because everything else in that game kind of pulled my attention in a different direction. You know, there was enough there to where, you know, the bugs, you know, trying to find Sean and trying to decide what faction I wanted to be, and all the interaction with the NPCs, and, you know, the choices you make and how those choices affect the game and everything. I mean, all those things kind of, you know, were things that, for me, at least as a gamer, I was like, you know, I can look past some of the performance issues that this game has. Now, I go back to E3 and Todd Howard's like, you know, we have an all new, you know, rendering, lighting, landscape technology. You know, this allows us to have 16 times more details. You know, and I'm thinking, okay, this is interesting. Like, you know, maybe this is maybe they made improvements to the engine. You know, and then, you know, the beta comes out, and the beta is like 2 weeks before release, and that, to me, it's not really a beta. It seems more like a demo. I think at that point, just pack up the CDs, give them the Game Informer, like we used to get demos back in the days in our magazines, and popping them on our Xboxes or PlayStation, whatever you play on. And then I started reading, like on Reddit, some of the issues gamers were having with this game. And then Young Ye brings up, and I remember Jason Schreier, and that's a whole interesting dynamic. By the way.
That's a big one right there.
Because that whole Young Ye, and Young Ye wasn't necessarily saying, like, you know, he wasn't being a provocateur as Jason was, you know, trying to insinuate. He was just pointing out that, hey, you know what? You know, there's some issues in this game. I mean, maybe it's time for Bethesda maybe to look at using a different engine, because the proof is in the pudding. There's issues. There's issues that continue to happen in their games. And, you know, a lot of those issues, you know, when I started reading about some of the bugs that happen or that plague this game, I mean, there's bugs from Fallout 4 that somehow made their way to Fallout 76.
Now, I want to back you up 1 second, because you're making some strong points, BRAP. And I just want to, because obviously we use the terminology game engine, right? And this has been a hot point of contention, especially with Lord Jason Schreier. Now, what he's saying is that technically it's not, that using that terminology is misguided, because like a misnomer, basically, because he's saying it's not just a simple program. So basically, he's saying like certain parts and certain tools are carried forward, but it's not necessarily the same engine, so to speak. And he feels that a lot of us as gamers or provocateurs are utilizing that terminology the wrong way. What do you feel about the whole engine thing, like the whole with Bethesda and blaming that engine?
Well, I mean, look, man, I'm not a developer, but I can only look at the end result. You know, and historically, I can only look at what that engine has produced.
Right.
You know, I know Jason says,
all right, what has that engine produced?
Oh,
I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you that question right now. What has the creation engine produced? What has it produced right now?
It's produced.
Look it up on Wikipedia. What right now?
It's produced games that have bugs.
What games? What games? Tell me the games.
Fallout 76, and we're talking about Fallout 76. Hold on, Anchor. Hold on. Wait. So you're telling me that you're okay putting $60, your hard-earned money, $60.
I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that. I'm asking you a question right now. What games has this engine made?
I got a list. I'll go down the list of bugs too.
No,
I got a whole list.
You're missing one. You're missing one.
Mm-hmm. What's that, Anchor?
Skyrim.
Okay.
Okay,
right, but Anchor, hold on 1 second. Because we're gonna be fair to BRAP. We gotta let him finish, and then we're right behind. But I respect you interjecting on that part. But and then got it. This about to be late.
Skyrim was a good game. It had its issues, but the problem is now there's a game that has significant issues. Like the issue that I had with people, and I understand like no one's discounting that Bethesda's made good games. But we're talking about this game. We're talking about 2018. We're not talking about 2012, 2014. And what Yang is saying is, hey, look, these issues have existed before, but why are we having these issues 6 years later, 7 years later?
Fair enough. And as
consumers, we're paying for that now.
Fair enough. I see what you're going through. And so that's where you are as far as the state of the engine, correct, Lord BRAP? Just want to make sure you got your points off in reference to that.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Lord Anchorman, what do you feel in reference to the Bethesda engine, the state of the game? That's all I want you to focus on at this point.
All right. So I want to start off with the two things. First off, it is not my job or my privilege to try to defend Bethesda for bugs or PR, stuff like that.
Okay.
Like I can't make excuses for that. One, because I didn't work on the game and I'm not getting paid. So that's not my job.
Did you say privilege? I'm just curious. Did you say privilege?
I did. Yes, I did. If I were working for Bethesda,
I want the viewers to remember
which we low key think that you may have a deal behind the scenes. That's enough stuff.
I can assure you, I have no canvas bag.
You didn't get that creator's bag, Anchor? You sure?
No, I'm sure.
Continue.
Yeah, the other one too is, but for people who are watching, I just want to clarify. I may have missed this because I got disconnected for a brief minute.
Sure, no problem.
Has anyone actually played the game here?
No, I have not.
This is not to discount anyone's opinion.
Reward.
This is just to see if anyone. Anyone is arguing from experience or just what people have been reading online.
No, I'll let you know my position on that when it gets to my turn. But I have not put 1 hour, 1 minute in the game.
I think we're all fraud in that regard.
Kid Smooth got it when he bought his X.
No one else has played it.
No.
All right, so no one else has played it.
Nope.
BRAP, you played. I don't know. Did you? I couldn't hear that because I got disconnected.
No.
You played it at all?
I was gonna get it to play with you.
No.
And then I saw how bad it was. I didn't buy it.
All right, so nobody is actually arguing from experience with the game.
I'm not
whatsoever.
arguing at all. I'm not even going to touch the topic.
But we're not arguing. We're just talking about it.
I wanted to clarify this. Hold
up. You can't dismiss what's going on because we haven't played.
Oh no! I am not. I said that from the very beginning.
Outlets that's like
I said that. I said that from the very beginning. I said this is not to discount what anyone else is saying in their opinion.
Like you was setting up a damage control blanket right there. You was about to put all over it.
Listen. All I
said that from the very beginning. I just want to see if anyone was arguing from experience or just from what they've been reading online.
Let me answer your point with this. I was planning to get the game. Let me just get to my point now because it kind of leads into what I was going to say when it got to me, which was I was planning on getting this game. Like literally, when I saw it at E3, I'm like, man, this game looks fantastic. Man, this is Fallout with friends. I want to pick this up. As the reviews started to come in and I started to see what the actual gameplay loop was, and in conjunction with obviously the bugs and things of that nature, it didn't appeal to me. So I said, you know what? I'm going to wait and see. But as of right now, with the lack of NPCs, kind of similar to what BRAP said, and then way more importantly, was VATS. I love VATS. I think VATS is one of the greatest things in Fallout. And because of an online persistent game, not having that in the functionality that I would like it, I knew that this would not be the game for me. So that was my position on not picking it up. Continue.
Okay. I will say one thing about NPCs because you brought it up, and I don't want to forget about this later.
Sure.
There are NPCs in the game. There are just no human NPCs who you get quests from. That's racist, sir. All of you are racist. You're disrespecting my Robo-Americans like that.
I'm done with you. Continue on the state of the game. We got a lot of points to get to.
When the game came out, I played it for a little bit. The issue I was largely seeing was in terms of how enemies were handled, where in Fallout 4, you would go to one area, you kill them, then you would leave the area, and they would reset after maybe like 10 or so in-game days, and you come back and they'd be back. But it took a lot of time. Now, it's in this one persistent world, they are always respawning. And the issue whenever the game came out, and I was the first person to say this about this, as I have receipts for that. I was first person on Twitter saying, don't jump on this right now. It is not solid.
Yes.
The issue was they had all the enemies were respawning so quickly. And so you would have like an event they wanted you to go through that they could do in a single player game. Like they wanted you to encounter this certain pack of dogs. And once you get out of the vault and they want you to go over that portion, but you would kill them, but they would go through the respawn timer too quickly because other people are trying to do the same thing. They're jumping in and going through that same part over and over and over again. So they increase the respawn rate so you kill it. Then within 5 seconds the body disappears, and then about a minute later, new pack of dogs is spawned. So it's like shit. I have all this stuff constantly, and so that was the biggest problem I kept seeing. And so then they had all their other issues with you had like there was a possum, like called it Schrodinger's possum because it was both alive and dead at the same time. It was alive and walking around, but I could loot it like it was dead. Those were the real problems that I saw with the game. Now those problems have been fixed since then. I think a lot of it had to do with just at launch because you wanted people to go. They were going to be in the same area constantly.
Can I ask you when those issues were resolved? How long did it take? Was it a day or two? About a week, correct? Was there
about a week? Was there? That's what I experienced at least.
Was that post 40 gig plus patch or? Was that server side kind of thing?
I think that was more server side because like the patch that they did, the 40 gigabyte patch, that fixed other problems that I wasn't particularly experiencing, but other people were saying like it ran smoother in certain areas and such. But I did not personally see a problem. I think it was more just they upped the respawn rates in those particular areas because people were going to be playing it more frequently.
Fair enough.
Now, addressing the engine thing, I'm kind of pissed off because you took off my Jason Schreier point.
I'm ready for you, baby. I'm ready.
Because the thing about engines, and there's a great article also by Jason Schreier. Let's keep in mind, too, Jason Schreier is probably the most objective point of view in this. He's blacklisted by Bethesda.
That is correct.
He has no reason to be defending them whatsoever.
That's why I took his point very seriously. Correct.
It's like the thing about the engine and attacking the creation engine. This is how Bethesda operates. They do 3 games on one engine, then move to the next one. They had Gamebryo for Morrowind. They did it for Fallout 3, and they did it for Fallout New Vegas. Then they had the creation engine, which they did for Skyrim, Fallout 4, now Fallout 76. And then they're going to do the next set on a new engine. But the thing is, the thing about engines, and Jason Schreier does a good point about this, is that it doesn't
beautifully. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a system of programs to make games, and there may be certain things that you like more than others. Like everyone loves Unreal Engine, right? Unreal Engine's pretty dope. They changed. Unreal Engine is still operating on the same base framework since 1998. They just added an extra number to it. Say, "Oh, look, it's new. It's new." And Bethesda routinely changes the parts of the engine, and for people to say, "Oh, they didn't change anything; it's exactly the same." I went back to play Fallout 4 last night. There's a difference. You can definitely see it.
Now let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this, and you broke down the actual technical side, which I'm very impressed with you did that. But what I got to ask you is this from the optics, right? We as hardcore gamers, we know this, right? For the most part, we understand that it's a little bit more in depth. But how can you translate that as far as the frustration of the average gamer when they don't see things working in the correct fashion, when they see things kind of broken and the glitches and stuff like that? We know behind the scenes that it's not the exact same thing, verbatim, cut and paste, right? But what do you say to the quality of the game when people are very dissatisfied?
This is a different kind of game than what people expected. And I think that there was a messaging problem when they announced this game, but I think I understand what they were trying to say. And I, as someone who has played the game for about 24 hours now of actual game time, I see it as the game is designed for Fallout with your friends. That is how they marketed the game.
Right.
And when you were playing with your friends, everything is designed towards that, and the vision comes to life, and it's like, wow, this is great.
Right.
The problem comes in that, yes, there are bugs, but then the question also comes up is, well, this is more financial side of gaming.
Just need you to answer the question.
How do you justify QA testing?
Yeah, like I need you to answer the question. Was it acceptable to you at launch? We got a lot of points. I want to move forward.
At the point of 1 month, I found that it was acceptable, but not ideal. Go with that.
Fair
like
enough.
This is like, okay, as I knew what it was, because this is an online game like Ark or some other kind of MMO light structure, and there's going to be problems.
Okay.
And this is what happens.
For
Let me
you,
go next.
I know you're up, Attic, but for you, just for clarity, you were acceptable with the condition of the game at launch. Just want to make sure I have that correct.
With the understanding that it was going to be fixed later and there were going to be problems.
Okay, so you are of the Lord Dizzy camp that as the structure of the game being a multiplayer Fallout with friends, in your opinion, you felt that because it's not the single player Fallout experience, you wasn't expecting that level of polish and things would
because I realized that this is an MMO light genre.
Okay.
That there were going to be problems.
I just wanted to clarify your position. Lord Addict, you are next. State of the game, engine, was it acceptable at launch to you?
No, it wasn't acceptable.
Okay. Is that Lord Addict and you're out kind of a thing? Or?
No. Look, at the end of the day, how many times have I came on here and said that this game's going to be a dumpster fire long before anything was announced? Long before anything was announced. I've said multiple times I'm not buying the game because they can't make single player games without glitches. What makes me think one minute that they can make a multiplayer game without glitches?
Right. Okay.
Look, at the end of the day, you know, we're the ones that give Bethesda this power. Let's be real. If this game came out and it was like the quality of a Fallout, an actual Fallout game, or an Elder Scrolls game, how it's always went is the positives far outweigh the negatives. And usually the positives was an immersive world, great story, besides Fallout 4, and, you know, you really enjoyed playing the game. This was different. This game sucked overall. So it was hard to outweigh when the game wasn't working half the time. You know how many times in Skyrim I've had textures disappear. I've had save files completely delete itself. I've fallen through the map more times than I count, and I still consider that one of the greatest games of all time because the positive experiences always outweigh the negative. But from everything I see, the negative experiences of Fallout 76 far outweigh the positives.
No doubt. Chief Tommy's coming at us and he's saying that it's an action role-playing game. It's not an MMO. And but Relevant is saying that he's with Anchor, that he's an avid more MMO player, and he kept his expectations in check. What do you say to that, Addict?
I'm not even answering that.
Lord from Snobware has nothing to say.
I didn't come up with that.
Lord.
Okay, first off.
Here we go. Here we go.
Has Bethesda ever come out openly admitted that this game is an MMO?
I don't know.
Has Destiny ever come out and say it's MMO?
This game is an MMO.
I don't know. I don't recall this.
Has Bungie ever come out and say that Destiny's an MMO?
Yes,
no, because it's not technically a whole MMO.
No, Anchor's actually right. They refuse to use the term MMO. Bungie, they use console, like shared shooter kind of a deal. They never commit to the term.
It's the same kind of game, just different aspects. Like I see that. I see Fallout 76 as the response to a Destiny division like kind of.
All I have to say is everyone complaining about this game. You gotta look in the mirror. That's who you blame. This game was deleting files before it even started. And now everyone one wants to act like they surprised it's not working correctly.
He's not lying.
So okay.
Yeah, I want to say something. I want to chime in real quick because for me, it isn't like I'm never going to sit there and disparage someone who likes the game. Like Anchor, you like the game, that's awesome, right? I know people that like the game. I know people who hate the game and don't want to play it anymore because of the issues. For me, it's about principalities.
Principalities in this.
There's principles in this, man. There's principalities in this game. And when you bring over bugs from 3 years ago into this game. That's a problem.
Your man wants new bugs. Stop bringing them same old bugs.
Bruh, you keep saying bugs from three. Like, what bugs are you talking about specifically?
That's what I want to know. Because I just hear people say, oh, there's bugs from 3 years ago. Which one?
There's one with the power armor, and there's another one with infinity health for some enemies or something.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah. What is the power armor bug?
That you can't get out of the power armor.
Yeah, I heard the invulnerability bug. I heard like that.
Yeah, the invulnerability bug. I mean, and then you hear like.
Let me address one thing about that
because
the one you're talking no, because the one you're mentioning about the infinity health thing, those are two different types of. It's the same outcome, but two different types of bugs.
Okay.
One in Fallout 4, you would have enemies that were legendary status, and you would shoot them, but if you didn't kill them in one shot, they would regain all their health and mutate. That was a thing. They don't have that. They don't have that in Fallout 76. And the problem with Fallout 76 is that you're having it's the same kind of outcome, but two different things. What's happening in that particular bug?
It's the same outcome.
No,
the same outcome.
It's no, because on that one, was only for in Fallout 4. That was only legendary enemies.
Hey, wait, is it not the same outcome, or is it?
Right.
Oh boy.
I'm trying to explain to you what happened in Fallout 4. You had the legendary enemies, whatever you would shoot them. That was a part of the game mechanic. They would come back with that. But in Fallout 76, they don't have legendary enemies like that anymore. So what's happening in that one is it's an actual bug where it's glitching. So when you would shoot it and you could kill it in one or two shots, it would regain its health. And it would come back because it was registering like a couple seconds from prior. One person explained to me because they were going up against it. They said it was a mechanic that was designed to prevent people from just having OP weapons one-shot enemies. Because there's some people who are walking around who have like 154 already, and they're killing like level 60 enemies in one hit.
Yeah, the chat is savage.
That's the problem.
They said, don't forget the Fallout 76 beta couldn't be deleted off my PC bug. They said, don't forget. No,
that's your fault. You pre-ordered, then tried to do the hustle.
He said, can the bugs get a service pack update? I'm done. Yo.
Yeah, but okay, look, my point is this. My point is it's principalities. Like I just can't. I don't think we should reward developers paying them $60 for products that aren't release finished. That's the issue that I have.
So you feel it should have baked a little bit more. You felt it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have. I mean, a beta 2 weeks before release, and then people. Then the promise of you're going to be in this game. You're not going to notice that you're in a server or something to that effect. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't.
But people, but you get dropped from servers. People complain about being dropped from servers on numerous occasions. There's the issue of when you spawn into a game, you don't cause any damage. You have to log in, log back out, and log back in.
Fair enough.
I mean, I don't know if I've had that problem necessarily, but
people are reporting
people are reporting a list of problems, and it's like, yo, how can you charge $60 for a game like this? Like, to me, like as gamers, like, and it's cool. Look, if you have fun with it, rock out. That's cool.
Fact.
But for me, it's about principles. Okay. And I can't sit there and give a developer $60. It's for an item that's not finished. What other product or consumer product that we go out that is half baked that we give them our full retail price for it?
Fair enough. I'm going to get the rest of the lords in this because we got a lot to discuss. Lord Sov, you have not talked. I am dying for this. And then we got King on deck. I know King's chomping at the bit.
Coming from a point of having not played the game, the issues that I've heard about and that I've seen, I think the main thing for me is that they didn't look at this game from the ground up as a multiplayer game. It felt like they just took the framework of a single player Fallout and added multiplayer to it and didn't realize the consequences that would have in the real world. And when they would put it out there in the real world, then all of these things start coming out in terms of the engine and how that functions. And I agree totally with Jason Schreier. Engines are something that are constantly evolving things. They're constantly built upon until they decide to pick everything up and move to the next.
For the most part, like Bethesda games are really big, really mass.
Right. And then
you can't really account for everything.
And then when you look at a Bethesda game, right, as opposed to something like a Rockstar game and a GTA, a Red Dead, where for an open world game, the amount of bugs in comparison to like a Bethesda game, those games are really polished in comparison to a Bethesda game. The thing of Bethesda is because since it's an RPG that relies on systems that rely on each other, like on one on top of the other, it's really tough. Like GTA games, Rockstar and Red Dead, those are not RPGs. Those they're just not. They don't have that many systems that collide like that. So I get that certain bugs just continue to keep popping up.
Let me cut you for 1 second because there's a very strong point. Shout out to Relevant Native. Shout out to Dizzy. And this is the point I need to ask you, Solve. As single player experience gamer, this is the one that's your misnomer, that's your tag, right? There's certain level of
definitely not a misnomer.
That you're right. That is your tag. It's a certain level of expectation we have, right? And most people coming in, we come from the Fallout perspective of what we want from a Fallout game.
Right.
But are we wrong for being upset? Because but what I'm hearing out here is that this is an MMO. This is what's expected of an MMO. And we have false expectations coming in, expecting this to work like a single player game. Are we feeling that way? How do you feel about that?
Two things to that. First of all, as in like I was saying before with the single player stuff, I think the expectation was when you go into this game that it's a Fallout game, and it doesn't feel like a Fallout game. It feels like it should not have been in the Fallout universe. That's what it just seems like to me. Like it shouldn't have been. And if it was going to be in the Fallout universe, they really needed to think about how that translates to a multiplayer game as opposed to the single player experiences they've been giving us. And I think that's sort of the mistake they made, if you want to call it that, as the game has been out and people have been playing it. Now, in terms of the MMO thing, I think if you look at Elder Scrolls Online is an MMO in the Elder Scrolls universe that is traditionally for us been a single player game. Elder Scrolls Online still feels like Elder Scrolls. It still feels like it's very
that is true. Yeah, I played that game. It very much feels like that. Shout out to Death Singer too.
So it's one of those things where it's okay. They took the time to figure out.
It's a bootleg Fallout.
Yes, I peeped that guy.
76 is a bootleg Fallout.
Yeah, yo, shout out to Johan Zell. He out of control.
It feels like it felt like they could have just come out with a new IP to test this with, and not necessarily besmirch the Fallout name.
Question. What do you mean it doesn't feel like a Fallout game? Are you talking about aesthetic? Are you talking about overall experience? I don't know. I want you to clarify your statement.
Well, from a Fallout game, a lot of the fun that comes out of a Fallout game is the weirdness of the human NPCs, in addition to the mechanical ones.
It's racism again.
Don't robots.
And then the structure.
Did Detroit teach you nothing?
Anchor, you're a fool.
That's a great point, Anchor.
It didn't teach him anything because a lot of people don't play that crappy game.
Robot NPC shaming that they don't count.
I mean, racist against robot NPCs, but it's not in terms of the aesthetic.
Clarify yourself, weak man.
I feel like being racist towards the NPCs would infer them not to be there because you don't want them there, not because they're not there and you want them there. I feel like that's backtracking. That has nothing.
That's favoritism, sir.
Oh, now we're going to favoritism. Okay.
No, that is inherently racism. And having one preference over another. What do you guys against Cogsworth? What are you hating against Cogsworth?
Don Howard found an art asset folder on his PC. He got that NPC robot finesse. I went on boss.
But Anchor, so what do you say about all of the missions that are just basically you listening to a recording and following the breadcrumbs to point A, point B, point C?
Yeah, that was in the bushes for me.
That's straight up in the bushes for me.
Let's talk about that for a minute. So the structure of this game, in terms of lore, there's not much else you can do because it's 20 years after the vault opens and there are barely any humans out there. There are a few humans who are out there, and I will not get into super spoilers, but this is the beginning of the.
Just so I clarify,
I'll get into
you're saying Bethesda used the lore to not do anything for the game. Okay, got
I'm saying like to the level of which Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 4 had humans out there. There aren't that many out there anymore. Mainly just because they haven't had a chance to settle, and the radiation's too steep right now. Like, there's a couple
what happened
of
to everyone else
stuff.
in the Fallout 76? What happened to everyone else in Shelter 76? Is it just
those are all players? Those are all players. And there's one actual non-player, and it's the Overseer, and you're trying to find them. That's part of the mission structure.
I tell you this, as somebody who doesn't really like the multiplayer stuff, the premise of the game is freaking amazing. The fact that you're the first vault to open and there are no humans and they want you to play with your friends, it just felt like the underlying game they gave you doesn't support that premise the way it should. And that's the issue that people have, besides whatever the bugs or whatever. I think
that's I don't mean to interrupt. That's actually been a common complaint, I think, in a lot of the reviews.
It just doesn't feel like the game underneath supports that. And and again, there's no permanence to anything. Another thing, like every time if you nuke a town, it's nuked for the duration that you're on that game, on that server in that moment. When you come back to it and you're in another server, that's all still there. And there's something about permanence in these games and to create a sense of being in that world.
Pretty much Sovereign is a psychopath.
Oh, so like Red Dead, right?
He wants it to stay burnt. You don't want it to
like Red Dead.
You don't want it to blow up the same section twice. He wants it to be gone.
But I never expected that from Red Dead. I've never expected it from Red Dead. Once you give it to me once in one game, I sort of expect it as part of the series, right? So I understand fully that it's a different type of game, but they didn't build the underlying game to support that.
So I want to clarify, because what I'm hearing is that we are shaming Bethesda for trying something new. But we wanted to say Guerrilla Games. Oh, Guerrilla Games didn't want to do that on first-person shooter anymore. We're going to give them so much praise for doing a single-player third-person.
They went straight to the bushes. You don't remember? You said that they went straight to the bushes for jumping out of their freestyle mode. Straight to the bushes.
The game is beautiful. The story's great. The combat gets boring. It's like, it's in a lot of ways it's kind of a cookie-cutter third-person action game.
Because believe me, I'm actually with you guys. I was out here saying Horizon Zero Dawn is mediocre as hell. Horizon Zero Awards, but like my thing is, but as a gaming community, we rallied around Guerrilla. We said, "Good job, you deserve Game of the Year because you tried something new and made it mediocre."
I gotta jump in. But the game was a quality game. It was a different game. Hold on. I gotta shut you down right now. You're bugging. Here's the deal. At the end of the day, the product that launched was functional. Okay, that's the difference.
At the end of the day, there was NPCs that you could put quests up.
Whether you choose to agree, whether you like the game, that's another thing. It worked. We're just talking about from a pure fundamental level. We have documentation that can be 2 to 3 pages long of everything that has gone wrong with the basic fundies of Fallout 76. We can't say that with Horizon Zero Dawn. That's all I've seen. But I want to get King in there because King, you've been patiently. You're about to
King's
sleep.
rubbing his head.
I've been asleep the whole time. I've been laughing at Anchor because Anchor is definitely 100% hardcore. I salute you, sir. I salute you.
I just want to know what are you on, Anchorman, to always be on the defensive when it comes to this? I feel like there's like a special medicine you have to go to the pharmacy and be like, I need that Fallout shelter stuff.
You defend that crappy Deathstalker game crap that you be playing. And
what game? Hold on. Lord Santorum said Horizon Zero Dawn crashed on him 4 times, 2 hours, deleted his save. He said it was unplayable for him. Did you guys experience this?
No, hell no.
I jumped in like 3 months later. So
did anyone experience this that picked BRAP? Did you experience?
I didn't get it.
I never experienced it, but I'm not gonna say
that. I'm not trying to come at Sam. I've never heard this. This is my first time hearing that.
Yeah,
Horizon Zero Dawn had problems.
Did he have a day one?
I don't know.
I had a day one, never had any issues, but
Continue, King.
No, I'm just saying that Anchor. I gotta salute him because he.
He's right. Sam's actually right. I don't want me to cut you off. Sam's right. I'm looking at a GameSpot article talking about huge patch notes back in March last year.
Right, they had patch notes. But my question is, at the time,
my question is 51 on Metacritic.
It's not even about the quality of the game. My question is, was this a consistent, widespread issue that multiple gamers were reporting? Like I'm hearing like isolated incidents, right? Or maybe his specific incident. I have not heard, I guess, unless you can show me documentation, unless you can show me news reports that multiple people were in an uproar because their Horizon Zero Dawn didn't work at launch. That is news to me. So if y'all can find that, let me know. So anyway, continue, okay.
I don't really care about this game. So the fact of the matter is this.
I respect that.
No, I mean, I was gonna get the game to play with you. Seriously, to be honest with you. And I told you that. When I saw it, I was like, "Oh, me and Anchor gonna play that." I think I was sitting with Ant, and the idea of it was fantastic. I thought in my head, I thought it was going to be Fallout, and you have people in the world, and and they give you missions, and like every other MMO, but they didn't say it was an MMO. I don't know. Like, I think the game was supposed to be a free-to-play game. They should have made it a free-to-play game. Because if they put it out in this terrible of a state, let the game grow. And if you put it out as a free-to-play game with stuff that you can buy that could supplement the income for the game, I think it'll grow and it could be better than what it is. This way, I don't think the game is going to get a chance to survive. I think they put a dead duck out and everybody's going to have a problem with this game that plays it. Just because of confirmation bias. They're going in with bias. Right. They're hearing the talk, and as soon as something happens, there it goes. That's what I'm talking about. So,
that's a good point. I do want to bring that up later. Once you finish, though.
So I don't want to do that. I don't want to get a game going in with preconceived notions about the game, and any little thing will set you off, and then you just throw it to the side. So I don't want to do that. So nah.
Okay. So we're gonna jump in. All right. So we got that. So everyone got what they got. Now let's get into BagGate. And obviously we know what has going on. There's been the collector's edition. We know it came with the helmet. Obviously we know that there was a canvas bag that was initially reported to become part of that package.
Shortage of canvas.
That's the one thing I do. Like, the game is
not canvas in the canvas fields.
The game is one thing. The game is one
low
thing.
This year.
Obviously, it's real sketchy on how it runs. I think they'll fix that. In all sense, I think this game will be a completely different game in a year. But screwing over your player base and your fan base that went out and bought 200 on a legendary collection and giving them a $5 obviously if they're handing $5 of currency in any form, they obviously are saying, yeah, we did you wrong.
Shout out to Sam. He said that he sent the link pretty much. He said they're aware that they made a statement they're aware of a small number of users that were experiencing the Horizon Zero Dawn crashing before the cinematic. So he said there was a small group of users that did experience it. So put the article in there so you can see it. Shout out to Sam for that. Continue.
But the fact that they did that with and we're talking about if someone comes out with $200 on a legendary collection, that's your hardcore. Right. Now, them going about that, and imagine all the people that didn't hit them up. There's probably a bunch of people that bought that because they're fans of their games, and they didn't even reach out because I think the highlight was that helmet.
Okay,
yeah, the helmet was the big one.
I want to get back into the real aspect of it, which is I get the helmet part. That was definitely the highlight. But the question I want to bring in that's going on the Twitter streets is bait and switch. Because obviously we know what was announced. We know what was told. We saw the imagery of a canvas bag, right? But then obviously when people the reports started to come out and people started to receive the bags, it was kind of like a nylon, kind of a cheaply made bag.
That was the part of the story I disagree.
I got the bag.
I felt like
edition.
I felt like when it came to that.
Yo, kid, you gotta chill.
Yeah.
I felt like when it came to that,
that is not the bag.
The bag came, and I decided that I just didn't want to complain. I was just gonna keep what I got, and I said I'll take the Negro bucks that they gave me the $5.
Hey, King, did you buy that? Did you buy that fancy hat with the $5 they gave you?
Yeah, they did. I got that little hat.
But you know what it came down to? I feel like that's the biggest issue of the story, because that's their biggest fans. There's a good chance that those individuals that feel wronged by that, they're not going to go out and pop 200 on anything on them from now on.
Right.
And especially when they came out, all it would have took is an email. Be like, we don't have, if you want to go out and you want to cancel the pre-order, we understand. We didn't have enough to finish that. I guarantee you a good 80% of the people that pre-ordered is like, is the helmet good? That's all they're going to say. Is the helmet good? Yeah, okay, then I'm good.
Okay, fair.
But
he's right on that.
At it because you jumped in. Is it bait and switch in your opinion? And
yes,
then
by far bait and switch.
All right, and then what about the reward of the 500 atoms as a compensation, which I guess was roughly $5 US? And
well, I mean, that was pretty much saying we're gonna take $80 from you. We're gonna give you $5 back. That's what made it even worse, because that's pretty much like, okay, you gave us all this money, you have all this trust in us. We're gonna give you a penny back because we took 200. Like, you know, and that bag, the quality of that bag looked horrible. So, you know, I don't blame people for being mad. I'm actually more upset that they did that than the game not working, because I don't own the game. So. Okay,
fair enough. So we got that. Let's get BRAP in.
They give you a bad game and a bad bag.
That's stupid. BagGate on BRAP. We're never gonna get through the topic.
I just finesse you all the way around. They gave you a functional helmet, a bag, and a bag. Shout out to Bethesda. And they gave you $5 in Negro bucks.
You gotta stop saying that. The chat is trying to figure out what that is. Love BRAP. What do you feel about BagGate, the whole thing? Like, you know, where are you at with the whole? Is that bait and switch to you?
Yes, because it was advertised as such, and then I mean, I think even GameStop is still advertising the canvas bag, if I'm not mistaken. At least for as of 72 hours ago,
it looked like this when they was ordering it. But when you got it home, it looked. Give me my money back.
Wait, what did it look like, King? I look at it again.
It started out in the pictures like that. But when you got it at home,
now you gotta tell.
And if you are not upset by getting this, you need to set yourself on fire, boy.
Oh my goodness.
King, I'm shutting your mic off. You out of control today.
Oh my goodness.
Continue on BRAP, but we got to get Enrique in here, man.
Yeah. So I think, you know, but I also think that this thing got more traction in the media too, and because of how they handled it. Like when the Twitter response was, well, you know, we just ran out of materials, as you know, there's a shortage of canvas on planet Earth. You know, and then Bethesda's like, well, that person who tweeted that really isn't a official Bethesda employee, they're a contract worker. Right. So it's like, okay, who's controlling the messaging at Bethesda? Like, what's going?
They was handmade.
Oh, you know what's even worse? You know what's even worse than that? Like, okay. Like, yeah, that the wording of that tweet could have been done way better. It was like they said, "Oh yeah, go ahead and like inquire here for compensation and don't tell people what it is." Like, don't tell people it's 500 atoms.
And you was like, "Yo, let me see what I get." 5.
But no, what made it worse was then right afterwards they started giving out the actual canvas bags.
The timing sucks so bad, because it was like right after BagGate, then we see the influence, they get the high, the flyness, and we're like, oh no, like
Cognito, they were giving out Louis knapsacks to influencers.
They had the Birkin bag and the Louis.
Wait.
Wait. Oh, you didn't know?
So the official people, that purchased these bags, they're spending hard-earned cash. They saw one thing in the picture, received something else. But people that didn't purchase, that went there, got the bags that the dudes paid for.
Yes.
It's like FanFest tickets. That's how it works.
It's like a FanFest, like the FanFest bag we got. Like they got the FanFest hotness.
And you are still supporting these guys. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Shout out to you.
Lord Sub, I need to hear you on BagGate, sir. In the communication.
Like the communication. There's no communication. I mean, all of this stuff sort of just snowballed at the same time. So it just looks super bad. But the whole point is it would have been one thing if they advertised those bags and those bags just weren't it. They never made those bags.
Right.
But they made those bags.
But you have to understand, though, the canvas harvest was weak this year.
I love it.
They had to make decisions.
If nobody got that, and those bags were never created, that was just for the advertisement. And then at least you can blanket it somehow, but you can't blanket it.
Hold on.
You know what I think it might have been? And I don't know. This is not. I don't know, but it might have been something where they had more pre-orders than they expected, and they weren't prepared.
But who's the people that got the good bags?
That's the thing. They may have had like a set amount for the canvas bags, but then then the whole thing overloaded it. All these people pre-ordering that edition, they were like,
their fault because the pre-orders were up at E3 for this.
I know.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, let me get Lord Sam. He's got a good point, y'all. We can't miss this, and this is what I was going to jump on too. Shout out to Sam on this. He's saying that the journalists like such as Jeff Grubb has already said that the influencer bag issue is completely different, and that basically he's saying the Game Rant article is incorrect and irresponsible journalism. So the whole fact that these are kind of like separate issues, it wasn't like bam, now we gonna send it.
So they really got the Gucci bag.
They got the Gucci. They got the Gucci. Yeah,
but it's optics. So at this point, it's optics.
It's optics, right? So it's optics and bad timing.
But if the bag that they got resembles what was advertised if it even remotely resembles that, and what you get and paid for doesn't resemble what that paid, then it's fair for anyone to assume it's like they decided to give our hot stuff to them.
Let's just be real here. Bethesda, like the real question is, do you think this is hurting Bethesda's image overall?
Right, which is part of the question. Which is
is saying hell.
What's the?
Listen, I think at the end of the day, when Youngblood comes out next year, when Wolfenstein comes out, when the next Elder Scrolls comes out, when Starlink.
Oh, when the next Elder Scrolls come out, this never happened. This never happened to me.
Right.
No, but there's a great analogy that Steve Jobs put out there back when he was alive. I'm trying to what's the term that he had. It was called a brand deposit. So what they're talking about is the example he used was that whenever a company comes out with a new product that's received very well, or they have a good PR moment, they make a deposit into the brand bank. And so they have this balance go up, and eventually, if something bad happens, like a product fails or there's a recall or something like that, that's a brand withdrawal from the bank. But what the thing is, the higher that brand deposit is, the higher that brand balance is as long as that's high enough, bad things can happen, and people are more willing to ride out the bullshit.
Right.
That happens.
If you look at
this is what's going on with Bethesda right now. They have a high brand balance. People have high value of them, but when they make this mistake,
as high as it used to be.
I think you're overestimating your balance. I think you're operating at a negative, brother. Yeah. You're the only one that sees a positive balance, and I swear I'm not lying. That's why
I'm saying is that balance is going down.
No, but
that balance is going down because they have this bad.
I hear you. No, right?
I think,
and I've only heard you say anything. Everything I heard was completely negative about what went down. And I swear they must have put a lot of money in your bank Because your positive outlook to everything. I swear you just said those are not the same bags. The influencers had different bags. These dudes got garbage bags. But it's okay.
No, but what I'm getting at, King, is that like, okay, I know 3 different people personally who got that Power Armor edition. They didn't even notice it was a different bag.
Because they was happy.
All they wanted was that helmet.
Right, but
so
when
they didn't even notice it.
But the question is,
I
noticed it. But when they noticed it, how did they feel that it wasn't what was advertised? Now that they noticed it.
Like they noticed, they were like, "Oh, okay." Like they didn't feel bad about it.
Oh, okay.
Like,
get out of
here.
here.
No, really. I'll give you a gamer tag with someone who just realized that they told me 2 days ago that they realized like, oh, it was supposed to be canvas.
Can I chime in
for you? Can you do one
BRAP after this?
But
go ahead, BRAP.
Oh no, I was gonna say, I'm sure there's people that probably were like, yeah, whatever, the bag, I wanted the helmet, probably didn't care. I don't think Anchor's, what he's saying isn't true about the folks that he knows that picked up the collector's edition. To me, it goes back to something. Principalities. Back to principles in this game, and there's ethics, and regardless of whether or not you cared about the nylon versus the canvas, it's the fact that they advertised this in a way and then changed it and didn't let the consumers know
that they were changing. It was subject to change.
The way Anchorman's talking, I just want one favor from you, Anchorman. Why don't you turn that camera on and show me that bag? Because I know you have it.
I don't.
I really don't. But that's the nice one, man. The one with all the curves and everything. I know you got. You don't got that.
He got a whole power suit. And he's wearing it right now as he's talking to you.
No, King. What was I saw a Reddit post yesterday where someone was saying like the tag of it was the title was something like Bethesda lied. I feel like I was deceived, and then the tag was like, I was told I was gonna get a suit of power armor helmet, and it doesn't work. I can't go into bats. I can't do this.
Well, it's a good thing they didn't do the suit of power armor. Everyone would be walking around in some styrofoam at this point.
Cardboard boxes.
No, but I want to touch on something King brought up earlier in the podcast, and this happens every single year, especially in a crowded holiday season.
It screws up every year.
Yo, you ain't see my eyes? I'm sitting there like, what the hell is it?
No, but this is what you said, like at the first point, where people feel the need to justify their purchases, and not only the people like who buy into it and they have that income, and I'm not talking about that. Like this is like we see with consoles all the time, but specifically like people are really using Fallout 76 as a scapegoat this year to justify their other game purchases.
I want to get into that. Hold that thought for a second because it's literally bleeding into the last point. We'll wrap this up. Basically, which is the media aspect, right? And like you said, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of negativity going on around the game. And the question, which is Lord BRAP's favorite subject, is the media. Here we go. So has the media been unfair to this game? Has it been a clickbaity mentality? Has it been a piling on? Is it a kicking Bethesda finally when they down? Because for the most part, like I will agree with Anchor in this sense that like Bethesda's bank as far as the reputation, their reputation bank was always high. They were beloved, right? So when one of their games came out and maybe it had a minor flaw here, the scope of the rest of the game was so amazing. Almost like how me and Attic were having the issue with Red Dead Soft. Remember we were like mad with you guys? Right. But it was like Red Dead is so amazing.
Are you talking about them on the Red Dead juice?
Yeah, exactly. Like the Red Dead Control fiasco, right? Bethesda had that level of clout and that level of reputation, that bank that Anchorman is saying that it would.
This is the first game in years,
and this is This is the first time that we've ever seen this from Bethesda. So I'm going to give it to Lord BRAP on this. I really want BRAP on this. Like, do you feel the media is being unfair to Fallout 76?
All right. Before I get to the media question, I do want to say one thing. I think the most important thing now moving forward is what Bethesda does with this game. And much like, Hello and No Man's Sky, they can turn this thing around. I mean, there's definitely examples of games that
there's precedent.
Yeah, there's precedent for that. And I hope they do. I don't want to see Bethesda, this ruin or tarnish their image, because at the end of the day, like Anchorman brought up, some previous games, Skyrim, they have, and I think this is why we're seeing this goes going to my question, or the question about the media, because of the type of game experiences that they provided us over the last decade or so, decade plus. I mean, I go back to Daggerfall, Morrowind, Fallout 3, Fallout 4. They provide us with tremendous hours of great gameplay and fun in these immersive worlds. And I remember what it was like to find Sean. I'm like, I found Sean. And I was so I got choked up. I'm not gonna lie, I got choked up because I found Sean. I did. And
Fallout 3 was amazing too. Oh my Lord, like tremendous memories, great gameplay.
Yeah. Fallout 3 took place in DC Metro, and they were
that's your heart. Yeah,
that's my hometown, and they were advertising in the subway.
Facts.
They were advertising in the subway, and so for me to go to Fallout 3 and go to DuPont Circle and the DuPont Circle Metro Station, I'm like, wow, this is great, Bethesda. Thank you for paying homage to your backyard and where you guys are from. But so I think with the media, and I hear people say, oh, the media's piling on now, the hate train. You may have some people out there, look on Twitter, that are probably jumping on the hate bandwagon because they just want to troll and be haters. But at the end of the day, I think that the reason why this is such a big story, it's because it's Bethesda, because of their pedigree. And you would never expect to see this game and the byproduct of this release. You wouldn't expect to see some of the issues and the dropping of the ball with the collector's edition and everything else. That's it's like the snowball. The snowball keeps getting bigger and bigger for them, and it's like they can't catch a break. And I think it's because they didn't execute well in this game. And anytime you have a big company like this who has such a great reputation, of course the media is going to talk about this because it's Bethesda. You're like, holy, how did this happen?
But let me ask you this, and we know this is a very sensitive issue for you, Lord BRAP. Do you feel that people are taking advantage, clickbaity, misinformation? Do you feel that is it a result of people trying to drive traffic to their sites because this is hot news right now, versus the game is just the joke or the bad news that just keeps on giving, so to speak?
I mean, I think unfortunately it's the bad news that keeps on giving. But yeah, I mean, obviously, media sites are going to cover this because it's the hot topic and it's going to drive traffic. And look, at the end of the day, we could disagree with clickbait, but this is what they do. I mean, clickbait isn't anything new. They used to do it, and if you remember back to the days of EGM and the magazine covers, and who's going to win the console wars? Is it going to be PlayStation, Dreamcast? I mean, those were the kind of things that we used to see at the newsstand that would get our attention. We gotta read that article, But I don't think it's a media thing of we're just gonna we're gonna beat this and we're gonna beat up Bethesda because we hate them, or how dare they do this. I think it's just a hot topic right now. And look, man, it's why not? Why? I mean, these media sites have to make money, and I get that. There's a business side to this, and of course, it's natural. They're going to want to drive traffic, and they're going to cover the story that's the hottest story right now.
Fair enough. Shout out to Fonz in the chat. He's like, Bethesda lied. That's why the people are pissed. It's that simple. They out here selling hot dog water. Wow. Looking back, he said they've just been sipping on this stuff for too long. It's time to give Bethesda the EA treatment and force some change. Shout out to the meme on Twitter. Did y'all see the Dark Force meme? Yeah. Wait, they got the Palpatine, and then they got the young Anakin Skywalker, and they're like, yes, you're learning now. Like, they out of control. Yes. Anchor, I need you to jump in, man. Boss Move said alternative facts. Continue.
All right, so there is a contingency here of, yes, people are using this for clickbait. I mean, the fact that we have Jason Schreier straight up calling things fake news is pretty crazy. What was it? There was the article that came out that said, Elder Scrolls and Starfield are going to be using the same engine with no graphical upgrade. Like that is clickbait. And Jason Schreier went out of his way to say this is clickbait and fake news. He said this on Reset Era. Like he is going out of this, and that I find that very telling. That you have a dude who's blacklisted by Bethesda, but is committed to telling the truth and keeping that journalistic integrity. That signals something to me.
Okay, so you feel that there is a clickbaiting mentality. You feel that people are piling on.
I definitely agree that people are piling on for other things. Like, okay, so the big news things. Like, law firm is investigating Bethesda for policies. That's already been dropped. And that particular company has a history of doing that kind of thing anyway. It's like they just jump on whatever the biggest thing, and they want to get that attention.
I must sound like you when I talk about Xbox. I must. When I start talking about Phil, I swear I see it. I see it now. I can see why people be like, man, King, shut the up, because I see it because there's nothing that they can do wrong, bro. I see it. You are completely 100% drinking the Kool-Aid, and I am with you, brother, because that's exactly how I am with Phil. So I see where you at with it, and I can get it, bro. They must have gave you some serious bucks. You have got the
Adams in his account. He got more than 500 Adams.
Yo, he's fine.
I got like 1,200 Adams.
Exactly.
Actually, that's something I do. I want to talk about the store a little later if we can, because I do want to bring that up.
Yo, but, listen to what he's doing. Listen. Yo, my thoughts on it is
go for it,
because this is really getting out of control.
Yeah, we got to wrap this up.
They messed up. Are they in the bushes like EA? Hell to the no. All right, no, they're not that bad. This fiasco, yes. Is it clickbaity? Yes. A lot of people do it because a lot of people want those likes. A lot of people want that look. So to put up a negative, a pile on because they see it, that the traffic will be driven that way. If you put up a negative article towards this game. They will do that. So like positive articles towards Gods of War or God of War, stuff like that, that drives traffic. So when somebody puts up something negative about Xbox, Microsoft, they go and they click onto that. So I understand what you're saying, and I do believe that they're piling onto the game. Is the game probably as bad as people saying? I don't believe so, because there's a lot of people that's actually playing the game, but people are trying to justify their purchase. Let's say they pre-ordered Red Dead, right? And they had the choice out of pre-ordering Red Dead or 76. And they got Red Dead, and Red Dead game of the year, and they're like, ha, I told you. That is crap.
Quit describing Snob to us.
They want to. And if you listen to Attic will tell you it's not as good as you're saying.
Right.
You understand? Somebody is always going to have a problem with something. But yeah, I believe that they're piling on the game. But I also believe that the game is half baked and it should have been cooked and put out in a proper form later on. Not in this pack year. Should have put out next year.
Solve. I need solve. We got to fly through these time. We got one more part of it. That's the thing.
Same thing. I just think, the game is not. It's not ready. It's just not ready. It should. Maybe it should be something else, like King said before, a free to play game. Let people change the structure of it in a way that makes it monetizable in a way that isn't that isn't nasty, and and build a multiplayer game. Build a multiplayer game, and that's it. I mean, beyond that, I think I'm excited to see where this game goes. I hope they continue to work on it and improve on it. I mean, we've seen like the changes. Final Fantasy 14, right? Came back out and it was a totally different thing. No Man's Sky, when it came out. So obviously, it's not beyond the realm of possibility.
Right.
To do that.
I need Attic. He's in the bushes. Okay.
I feel like I got cut off a little bit. I wanted to say something about what King was elaborating on. Also, by the way, if you go to check on the Xbox store, Fallout 76 is number 2 behind Black Ops 4. Side thing. 2 weeks later, even though Red Dead Redemption had that online already launched, it still got more people playing. Other than that, Other than that, what I wanted to get at, like, this is the whole thing about the whole snowball thing. I actually don't blame the media for it in this.
Okay.
I blame the YouTube gaming community.
So you're on Jason Schreier's side, actually, where you believe
in this case, yes,
they have the provocateurs.
Like you have people, because and what King was saying is totally right. You have people who, if you try to say something positive, it does not nearly it does the same kind of response as something negative.
Absolutely.
And so you have people who jump on, let's hate on this because it's the popular thing to hate on right now. And it's hard to be like, okay, I want to be the positive for this version. Like when I started doing YouTube, everybody was hating on Xbox. Everybody was hating on it. And I was like, no, I'm gonna like Xbox. Because I like the product. I'm gonna say I like it, and I focus on that side of things. But other people, like they just want to jump on what the next big hate thing is because they can get some clicks on it. Like I have one guy I watch. I can't remember his YouTube thing off the top of my head at least, but he does a comics and movies. But as soon as Fallout 76 was getting negative attention, he jumped on board. Like, oh, I'm gonna get on Fallout. Let's do this. This will be fun. And my thing is, like I say, the thing is with this product thing, this thing about where games come out and one game has to be the fall guy every year. Like it doesn't matter how good that game is. It just starts to snowball. Like
Jonathan B is winning.
Jonathan B won.
He's won.
Breaking news: Bethesda slaps elderly woman. Anchor? Well, she had it coming, honestly.
Well, what if you found out she was a Nazi? Or she's a racist? What do you know? How do you know?
He's the one being positive in the game that is so bad. He said, you can't damage control this game. It's not what was advertised. He's stop it. They are going in on you, Anchor.
I got a question.
You didn't see the one where he said that Bethesda burned down an orphanage and Anchor said, well, this is terrible.
I didn't hear what you said. What was that?
Bethesda burned down an orphanage, and then you say, well, those kids are kind of terrible.
No, let me channel my Ebenezer Scrooge. Let's decrease the surplus population.
Wow.
Oh my God! Listen, man, listen. I hear. I hate to cut you because we got one last point with this, and I don't want to forget because no one's talked about it, and that's the griefing. Is that the correct way to say it? It's
griefing. Yes.
Okay.
You said grieving. I was sorry. Like, someone die?
I want to talk about something sensitive because it just happened, and pretty much in Fall 76 there was a group that was calling themselves the Gay Eliminators, and they were cleansing the wasteland of the queers. Said they were going around killing people, and apparently this.
Let me guess. These guys are on PC.
Yes, let me finish. I know.
Those were good, clean people to have crossplay with. Oh my gosh!
Let me finish. Shout out to Fastback in the chat. So, so pretty much this was on PC, correct? And pretty much, guys named AJ, he reported to Bethesda. How do you report these people? They were grieving them, and apparently, the way Fallout 76 works, it prevents players from killing, attack each other if there's no mutual desire to fight, but no one in Fallout is invincible, right? So if peaceful players don't want to fight, they can still take damage. It'll just be slower. So these guys continue to harass this gentleman until he died. They, beat him, whatever.
He reported it.
Because remember, there's proximity chat. So it's like,
so they were saying rude things.
Yeah, they were like, we're the Gay Eliminators, and we're getting rid of you. Yeah. So pretty much this is what went on. And then obviously we know most online games, they have, that built-in report option, for people with bad behavior.
We squealing on people when we champion snitching. What the hell is going on here?
So obviously, they don't really have that. You know what I'm saying? This is on Bethesda.net release. So there's no reporting system on the software client side.
The system in place.
Now, on Xbox and PlayStation, even though Bethesda doesn't have it in place, on Xbox and PlayStation, we all know we can use Xbox Live, PS9 to report a player based on their tag, PSN, yada, yada, yada. You know what I'm saying? But apparently it's not accessible. This client that they have is not clearly advertised. So the tweet went to the community manager. Now, in Bethesda's defense, you know what I'm saying? They got a hold of the people who were involved. They have now banned those accounts permanently, finally, from playing the game. Yeah, because obviously they don't want peaceful players to be attacked for their sexuality or what have you. So
they don't even know if the guy was get up. They this is out of control. The softness is taking over. You soft dudes out there, if y'all in my proximity chat, let me tell you something, man.
I thought I was going to defend this.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. This no snitching. No snitching is for real. Stop it, man.
Well, here's the thing. King.
Go for it.
Remember, most games have in-game reporting features, right? But this does not. So basically, the point of this whole thing is, as a result of things like this and the systems that are not in place, like, do you also think this is a problem? Do you also think that this should have been implemented at launch, especially with a game with the scope of proximity chat and interacting with other people, that there should have been something in place? Let's start with King and then let's go to
I just told you like 2 podcasts ago, I missed the races. I just told you I missed my 360 back in the days when I jump in a room with nothing but white supremacists and I made them my friends. I just told you, I'm not snitching on them. I made them my friends. They was like lifelong friends, like me and these dudes in West Virginia. I'm down with these dudes. And you are, how did he know? Okay, he died. Let's say he died. Join the group. Go to somebody else. Like, but he want to snitch? Like, come on,
what if people are not built as you? What if people are extremely
he wanted to play in his own space. It's a multiplayer game, bro. Run. Like, run. Like, that snitching, what's his game attack?
Oh my God!
Let's find out who he really
is. No.
You see. No. You know why? It's gonna go left. It's gonna go left because that right there. These dudes got together. It was like, let's have some fun in this boring game. Right? All right. So they running around. They said, they made up some wild name. I'm pretty sure. It's funny. It's funny as hell. They pointed the dude out and was like, he's such and such. Let's go get him. Right? So they probably was jumping around him and hitting him. And they was telling him while they was standing next to them, we the gay police. So we're going to take you out. So, I think it is utterly hilarious that happened. I would have been like, guys, stop beating me. I want to be down with y'all. Let's go find somebody else. I'm pretty sure he's by himself. So he got with a team. They could have went and got another dude. They could have really had fun in this game. And I honestly think, no, I'm not that dude to down with that. I think it was having fun. And that snitching, banning people accounts because they was out there having fun. You intended them to have fun. Why are you banning these dudes? No, you should have just gave them a reprimand. You should have said, stop doing that. Don't do that because he's sensitive. Come on, man.
Shout out to Sinister. He said King David is Clayton Bigsby. Shout out to Wolf. King is defending the alt-right on Xbox.
You can sit there and say whatever you want to say, Sinister. You was in those rooms with me with those white supremacists and you loved every minute of it. So you stop it right now.
Lord BRAP, I need you on the grief, right, Anchor? Griefing.
I don't know how. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, griefing system. Should that have been in play? How do you feel about that whole situation?
I don't even know how to follow up with this topic after King's rant. That's. I mean, I kind of get what he's saying. They did advertise, create your own experience, but
have fun. They did.
Yeah, but I don't know. And why they couldn't implement the griefing system? Well, we know why. It would have bugged out. It just didn't work when they tried to implement it. I'm joking. No, they should have implemented that in the game. But I don't like. And I remember King. I think he was even worse on the beta days at Xbox Live and the OG Xbox.
Yeah,
he was. I mean, we used to get fun. We used to get racist taunt. I mean, people would be like, die ninja, die.
Yeah. Fun, right? But Brad,
I didn't think it was fun. I was like, whoa, what's going on here?
You jump in a room and you hit some wild out mess. Now, either you could be a part of it, right? And you could just go along and have a good time, play your Call of Duty, and have fun with these dudes.
Yeah, King, some of these guys were angry, man. They're like, F you, ninja.
And I loved it. I loved it so much.
King, you must understand.
I don't know, man. That's
built for you.
Yeah, that's not for me, man.
I'm about all that smoke.
Little Timmy just wanted to play his game.
Oh no! Now you're talking about kids, though.
Little Timmy is playing an M-rated game. Why is little Timmy playing an M-rated game?
Okay,
kids.
Now Okay, if they're children, that's where the line is drawn.
Okay.
No, if it's a child, and this is why a game should be age appropriate, right? If you're putting a child, my kids, well, my son doesn't play online because he won't be playing with somebody in Call of Duty to run up in one of those rooms with like that. Okay. You understand? So the game shouldn't allow adults to play with kids.
Right.
All right. That's how I feel.
So you on your ESRB right now. You're on your ESRB.
That can go left though. Like that can really go left. That's the small tip of the iceberg for that. You know, it can really go left when you have adults playing around in rooms with kids. Now, if you're gonna have kids playing in rooms with kids, now that's fun. They can have a good time. If you have adults playing in a room with adults, that's good. That if they were doing that to a child, nah, I'm not about that. Like, that other stuff, if it's a grown man and you can't take a ribbon, that's your business, bro.
Hey, I need you on this, sir.
All right. But I will say I miss those old Call of Duty search and destroy lobbies.
Yo,
they forced you
to take party chat off. I love that.
Oh my God. Like, yeah, it was rough. Yeah, it was rough and tumble kind of stuff in there, but man, the passion you had when you would kill somebody and you're cussing you out in the lobby because you're watching the match finish. Oh man, that was
the worst was death metal. People would be playing death metal over their speaker.
That was. You just went through. You muted those people, and I got out of here. Like, I want to hear your rage when you die.
Nobody is ever telling me that. I don't care what room they ran in. I've never heard nobody say those days were the bad days. Those were the good days.
Dude, I have one moment I remember, and I'll get to the topic in a minute. We were playing Black Ops 2, Search and Destroy. I was playing I was just out of class when I was in college, and I remember coming back and playing Search and Destroy with a buddy of mine, and we got in the lobby, and so I died first because I was eating something. I was like, I'm just only here just to listen, and someone came in the lobby and just started singing "My Girl" by the Temptations. And then, what made it even better was that other people started joining in.
Wow.
And by the end of the match, everyone's in the same lobby singing the song all together. It was
my girl.
It was so funny. I was dying. I could not believe that happened.
It did have its moments. It did. I will say
it doesn't happen no more. It doesn't. It doesn't happen
because what has happened is, like, I believe we talked about this last hour with the introduction of party chat. Unfortunately, everyone now stays in their own circle.
Yeah,
they're no longer forced to interact. Because remember, BRAP. That's how we met new friends.
Yeah, that's how live. A lot of my Xbox Live friends I met on the original Xbox online because we just happen to be, in Mech Assault or Rainbow Six, and oh hey, what's your name? You play pretty good. Let's, what's your gamer tag? Let's,
Yo, Jonathan B gotta chill. He said, "Old man King, back in my day, we enjoyed racism." But like I agree with you saying, Brad, because again, that's the part I miss, and I do hear what everyone's saying too, because it's like when you played that COD Search and Destroy with Sinister. I used to play that with Sinister, and it said party chat disabled. You gotta talk to who you're with, and I think it encourages that interaction. You made those friends, and now let's be honest, we don't really make new friends on PSN and Xbox Live.
Man, I miss Jim Crow.
Boss move. Jonathan B got to tell him.
They're fighting right now.
Boss was trying to come back though, but Jonathan right now, B.
That was funny as hell.
Oh my God, it's hilarious.
But real talk, man. I hear what you're saying. Good.
All right. So the whole griefing thing, I don't even know if it's true, honestly. Mainly because my experience has been you always have someone who comes up and they say their side of the story.
He recorded
and it's not. Oh, you recorded it. Okay, gotcha.
And
all right, as long as he's got recording, okay, then we're fine. Because my whole thing is I used to do the ambassador. I used to do the Xbox ambassador program, and I remember people could complain to me about, this person said something mean to me, and I'm like, Shouldn't be playing Call of Duty. Bye.
He was a bad ambassador.
I was very bad.
Problem.
It was like, why you're 16? Why are you playing an M-rated game? Sorry.
I hear you. I hear you. So,
my thing is, at least with this scenario, I mean, should they have a reporting system?
Yeah,
they should.
That's my thing.
But at the same time, I'm like, sounds like a PC problem. No one cared about PC gamers.
Oh my Lord! But
in
Xbox and PlayStation guys, remember, I mean, even if you play another game, usually the game itself will have the report feature, so that you don't have to necessarily go to your friends list.
I went to check while you were talking that up on Fallout 76. You can pull the people in your recent playlist or your lobby. You pull them up, you click on it, it shows you the profile. Say, boop,
but that's an inherent feature, obviously, in Xbox Live and PSN are doing that on the back end, right? If I play Destiny, I can actually go to him in game and say, "Hey, report him to Bungie. He did it." You know what I'm saying? Like you can have the tools. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, so from a tools perspective, is it something that they need to improve on?
Yeah, I mean, it's have it. But that's my thing. Like that kind of stuff on any online game, no matter what game it is going to happen. Like you have people who just love the outrage stuff. Like there's no way to prevent that from happening. All you can do is report it. That's the best thing you can do.
Solve it. Then we got to wrap up, man. The Fallout.
I mean, I gotta laugh at this, man. Like
he said, I gotta laugh.
Listen, they've been taking so many L's on this game. They needed a W, so the fact they pounced on it as fast as they did, that's their W. Then now we got to make sure that we take care of this quickly. I don't care if it's a lie. I don't care what it is.
Let's do it. Get out of here.
We got to make sure the PR is right on this one.
Wow.
Oh my God! Well, that's pretty much that. I mean, we'll finish it. This topic went on long, obviously, but yeah. I mean, that's pretty much. I hear what everyone's saying. I'm with you guys. It's a tough one because, like I said, ultimately I was planning on buying this game, and then with each controversy and each bug and stuff like that, just basic core mechanics are just not there for me. So for me, I think I will say this though. I'm very vocal. I'm happy that people are vocal only from the standpoint that because Bethesda had that high reputation. What happened?
Jonathan B said Anchor needs to turn that camera on. I bet he's sitting in a room surrounded by canvas bags.
That's the only way to damage control makes any sense.
Oh shit!
I will say this. I think that the piling on, as people are calling, I actually think it's a good thing. I think they needed the watershed moment. I think they needed the humbling. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, this is something that kind of gotten away from them. The bugs are kind of unacceptable, and definitely certain core aspects of the game are amazing, but it's not to the standard that people expect. So ultimately, I think they're going to come out good with this long term. I think similar to Bungie had the same mistake with D2 in the launch, and they pissed off the hardcore community. They pissed them off, and it took until Forsaken for them to get it right. The question, though, is will they be able to get it right during the duration of Fallout 76 or whatever the next iteration of Fallout is? That's my only thing, but that's what I got on it. Anybody else got anything before we move off of Fallout 76 finally? All right. Sav, Game Award leaks. What's leaking?
Well, apparently nothing. So let me shout out Rocksteady real quick for folding half of my topic.
Yeah, I was about to say your topic kind of dead now. Like I was like, damn. Yeah.
By coming out and saying that that basically they're not working on Superman, and whatever they're working on is not
oh my God, DC hate
the Game Awards. So I mean, they may be trying their best to sort of throw people off, and maybe they do announce something. Who knows? But as of now, they're saying 100% they're not going to be announcing anything at the Game Awards. Okay. So the other interesting tidbit that isn't a leak is the announcement that Obsidian will be announcing their new sci-fi RPG at the Game Awards, and the speculation around that, which is crazy to me, but not necessarily, is that it could be something in the vein of the BioShock universe.
Please.
That is super interesting. And the reason that people are speculating that it could be in the BioShock universe is the fact that the game is being published by Private Division. Private Division is the publishing arm of Take-Two that deals with indie studios, right? So through the private division, they've actually published Kerbal Space Program. They're working with Patrice Desilets, the creator of Assassin's Creed, on his game. And Obsidian on this upcoming sci-fi game. Mm-hmm. So the interesting thing about it is that, again, because it's Take-Two, BioShock has been dormant for quite some time. Mm-hmm. And the two little tidbits of sort of game art that have come out indicate something sort of in that vein, that weird sort of dystopian vein, kind of Fallout-like, kind of a BioShock-like. So what do you guys think, man? I'm super interested by this. I'm just and also
what's the art setting look like? I haven't seen the pictures.
It sort of looks like it's future, but it has like there's one that shows like a bunch of different like kind of like medicinal things that you could use potentially in this world, and it's stuff that seems like the stimulant you would use like in a BioShock game, stuff like that. And it looks like it's kind of that future retro look where you're talking about the future, but it's the 1930s, something like that. So it's like a funky looking ray gun and stuff like that. So it's like this weird future where it's probably really dystopian but you're not advertising it as such. So that's why I say like the Fallout vibe, where it's like there's something wrong with this future. There's something that's not quite right. So
do you have like a link? I gotta take a look at this.
Let me show you. Hold on a second. I'm not good at the stuff up in the middle of things. I will give that to you afterwards. That does not fall within
that will determine my answer, sir. So
I'll tweet that out to you after the show.
Exactly. Give me a moment, please.
Didn't expect you to be here, sir.
But to be honest, like, what do you guys think about this? What do you think it's an Xbox exclusive? Which I don't think it is.
Right, that's my main thing. I'll just jump in right quick. I'm interested. I'm very, very interested. I just want to be clear. I just want to ask you, like, this is pre-Microsoft acquisition Obsidian game, correct?
It's happening before, yeah.
Right. So we got to be clear so that the fanboys understand. Oh, it's coming to PlayStation. What the, you know what I'm saying? Like, that kind of thing. Like, this is most likely a multi-plat game. I just wanted to be clear on that.
Right. Yeah. In all likelihood, it is. But it's interesting. Like, this could be huge if it is a game in the BioShock universe. It can be and if it lives up to the hype of old BioShock 1, DLC of BioShock 2, if it lives up to that level of game, and the fact that, again, Obsidian with the RPG pedigree, it could take the game in a number of different directions, because BioShock isn't a pure RPG. We've already seen what Obsidian has done with, Fallout New Vegas, with Alpha Protocol, with those type of systems. Mm-hmm. To take that expertise into a sci-fi setting that could potentially be linked to the BioShock universe is super exciting, because these guys, if there's anybody who's going to take up the mantle of a BioShock, an RPG studio like an Obsidian it's perfect. It's really perfect. To elevate that whole formula and to change it up, it's perfect.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. Let me get BRAP. Are you excited about this, man? BRAP?
I'm here. I'm sorry. He fell asleep. Right now, my kid walked in. He wanted to play Nintendo. I'm like, you gotta wait till I'm done with the podcast, buddy. No, you know what? Anything with Obsidian's name on it, I'm hyped. And I'm interested, and I can't wait to see. And especially when you talk about a possible BioShock.
BioShack,
yeah. BioShack, Radio Shack, and BioShack.
Exactly. I'm opening BioShack stores.
I put that link in the chat, Anchor, and I put it in the Hangouts chat.
Excellent.
Thank you, sir. But not anything in the BioShock universe, man. My eyes are wide open. They have my attention. I think to Cognito's point, I do think it's probably multi-plat though, because this is something that was in. You guys saying in works before the deal with Microsoft?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's probably multi-plat, but it's not a big deal to me. It's not.
I have a couple of games that's multi-plat.
Yeah, people will get upset about it, and to me, you know what? If it's a good game, I'm excited for it. So I can't wait to see this.
No doubt. Lord Anchorman.
That's nice. Sorry, I'm looking at the pictures now. Yeah, I could totally see how this would be a BioShock game based on this concept art alone.
Yep.
Dude, I don't know if you guys know this, but like right next to Fallout, BioShock is that series for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's right there. It's they often go back and forth for my number one slot. So it just just to hear that another BioShock game is in the works. What they say this every other year or so, and
That's your baby.
I really hope it's true.
That's your baby.
I really hope it's true. I had ideas for where they could take it. I mean, this kind of supports that. I'm not entirely positive, but I mean, it's just concept art. So I don't really know if we're certain. I wanted them to go more of a space route and do Prey, but not Prey. But instead, I don't know. There's a couple of different things. But the big thing about a BioShock one is what philosophy are they going to use? What's the setting? Like that's where BioShock succeeds.
Would you be disappointed if they came out and it is something in the BioShock universe, but it is 3/4 over the top isometric RPG as opposed to what we expect from BioShock, which is like a first person action oriented?
I would not have a problem if it was like a third person kind of game. I don't think I would have a problem with that necessarily. If it is like a top down, like old school Fallout kind of stuff, I might have a problem with that because I'd be like, I'm not gonna. But because I feel like that would be a huge departure from what made BioShock appealing. Like that would be a big change.
Yo, Disney said BioShock 76 confirmed. Yo, Disney, you gotta chill, bro.
Get him, son.
You gotta relax. Let's Anchor finish it, and King, I want to finish up.
But yeah, dude. Based on this concept art, this looks like they're going for space. Like I'm looking at it really close right now. Like I'm zooming on individual parts. Like not just the style, but it's more like a Jules Verne kind of vibe that they're shooting for. But not just that. Like the title says, it's not the best choice, it's the spacer's choice, and then they have a little spaceship insignia on the side, like that. That looks pretty close.
Edgar, let me ask you this: Fonz in the chat stirring up trouble.
Yeah, I saw that.
He said that. Look, man, he said that's terrible news. This is for you and Saul. This is terrible news that this is not for Microsoft and the fan base, that it's not exclusive. It just gives them slim hope that anything coming out soon will be exclusive for them. What say you, Anchorman? What say you, Saul? You two are the most excited.
I don't have a problem with it being not exclusive. Because here's what you're going to do. And here's the position I think every Xbox fanboy is going to have going afterwards. Yes, PlayStation fans, please buy the game. Bankroll our future titles.
I'll have a problem with it if it's a BioShock game and it's not exclusive. Obviously, I don't have a problem with it. Now, if it is a new IP and it's not exclusive and it still falls under that whatever Take-Two and Private Division have going with them, that would bother me somewhat because that would indicate that IP does not belong to Microsoft, which is weird. I mean, it would have to be some weird contractual stuff there. But if it is a brand new IP, I would hope that Microsoft gobble that up as well. So, if it's BioShock,
and there's always a possibility that it could just be like, okay, this is the first game. If there's sequel potential, I mean, Microsoft could either buy that or like what would make it worse? Like in a scenario where the game comes out and it's amazing, and then you find out the sequel is exclusive.
Yeah,
freaking out.
That people freak out because it would be almost like a Tomb Raider situation, right? Where Tomb Raider
except permanent.
Except permanent. Yeah, exactly. King, do you care? Are you awake on this one?
Yeah, I'm about it. I'm 100% about it. But my whole thing is, does it drop in Game Pass? Like I don't care if dudes gotta pay for it. I hope we don't. If it drop and it drop in Game Pass, how salty would they be though? Like how would that mix with them? Like that will burn their chest. Like that's $60.
So you want a PUBG situation?
I want them to be on fire. I want them to be so hot. Like how they get it for free though, and we gotta pay a fee though. Then don't buy it though. Like I feel like
I was gonna ask you about that. How you felt about PUBG with
Oh, you
the fact that they basically announced that, oh yeah, it's going to Game Pass. Oh yeah, it's going to PlayStation 2. But you know, PlayStation.
You see how you down with Howard? You all the way live. See how God Howard, like you be like God Howard. Ugh. You be like that. That's how your joint is. You saw Phil Petty hanging. You saw his Petty. Yo, he said, yo, it's coming out next month for they joint. They gonna get that. It's up. Free in Game Pass.
That's how it is. It's the ultimate thunder stealer. I have to give King credit.
Yes, then he went.
You were totally right.
He went one step further. Because you know people was like, yeah, I gotta pay $10. He said, not now. It's $1. $1 make you holler.
Shut up. No, that makes it so funny though. That makes it really funny because that is Microsoft, especially this generation, has learned how to steal thunder.
They're learning
on every announcement. Like it's been crazy. Like, the fact that like I didn't even hear. I didn't even hear that PUBG was coming to PlayStation until like a week after.
Right.
Like just recently, just a couple days ago. But I heard it was coming to Game Pass that day.
Yeah.
I heard that. I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. I don't care.
Very much true, man. Just want to fly through. We got the last two. I mean, Addict's gone, but I'm gonna give it to King. King, do you want to get into that Xbox One X revenue, sir?
Oh no, actually, listen, man, we are mad late. It is way over. But you know, everybody know Mat Piscatella because everybody's salty at Matt right now.
Yeah, they coming for the Lord. They coming for the Lord.
When Mat Piscatella sit there and tell you PlayStation is selling this and PlayStation has done this, the world is holding them up on a throne. Matt, you are the savior. But as soon as he said Xbox did something, they drop him and they walk past him. So apparently, Xbox One X is doing phenomenal, and Xbox has shown the most growth out of all the consoles. So my thing is, this Xbox One X, is that growth because they have, I think it's over, isn't it 100 and some odd games? Because shout out to Coach Eastwood, he did a whole show.
Shout out to Code RDX.
Yes, on how the Xbox One X is definitely living up to the promise, right, of the 4K revolution. Like very silently, a lot of these games is being 4K native or 4K dynamic, and they're actually reaching and hitting that peak where the multiplats are playing better there. And is that movement funding Microsoft coffers because the X is actually selling at a phenomenal rate?
Let me jump in. This is a fantastic topic. I'm glad you brought it because at the end of the day, shout out to Boss Moves. He said PS fanboys were yelling fake news at Matt. Yeah, I felt bad because Lord Piscatella, you know, he is privy to this information, right, BRAP? Like he has this information that we don't. Now, granted, if you truly want to question Lord Piscatella, if you truly feel that he is playing favoritism, if he is getting under the table deals, you too can buy the NPD news. It's for purchase. Like you can get the information. So I just found that quite interesting. All I'm going to say is this, you know, obviously Xbox One X sales, Xbox One sales show that they have grown. Out of the three major hardware platforms in the US, the Xbox One X is doing phenomenal. And it seemed to strike a chord with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the console fanboys. And all I will say is this, like, it's like, you know how I use the analogy, King? It's like the music business, right? You know, PlayStation, for example, is like they're going diamond, right? They're doing so phenomenal in record sales, right? And to me, it's like, and we know that they are the console leader. However, when Microsoft announced the Xbox One X, it was announced at $500. Everybody said, let's be honest, and even I was questioning it. Yo, I don't know about this mid-generation console refresh. I don't know about $500. We all said that in this podcast, at least at one point. We were concerned, right? And on top of that, we were also concerned, like, yo, they really light on exclusives, right? So we had all these factors going in to this situation, and to hear this news, is just really amazing. And what it showed me is like, I'll use the music business analogy, which is like, yeah, they're going diamond. PlayStation is doing something outrageous, but it's like the equivalent of Xbox One going gold. But then when the X come out, they go platinum. So they're still doing well, and they're showing more growth than the others in that regard. So I just thought it was interesting. You know what I'm saying? I'm very curious about why dudes are in their feelings when there's positive Xbox news. By Mat Piscatella, I think that's very interesting. So I'll bring it back to the table, man. Like, what do you guys feel, Brad? Like, what do you feel, Anchor and Saw? Where you at with this whole Xbox One X revenue? Is it fake news?
No, I mean, it's not fake news. Anyone who's coming at Mat Piscatella, leave the guy alone. I mean, he's not a console warrior. I mean, he's a professional. I mean, he's been on ILP, he's been on BRAP a couple of times, and you know, he's a student of the game. I mean, he is getting these numbers from reliable resources, and he's just reporting industry trends. That's his job, and no one should come after him for that. That's just nonsense. I saw some of the stuff. People, oh, Microsoft is paying you, and that's not happening. That's not what's going on here. I think like you guys, I was kind of on the fence on how well this thing would sell because $500 price point, mid-gen refresh. But I think, and look, this is just my guesstimation here. I think that probably the core Xbox consumer was probably because of the Xbox One, probably a little more ready to upgrade sooner than later. So I think that when I was one of them. I was like, oh, the X is coming out. I'm getting rid of my VCR Xbox One.
Hold on, bro. I'm sorry. Yeah. Osmo said Xbox got the hot mixtape, but the album is trash. Boy, you gotta relax. That's foul. That's
a great. But you know what though? That is a great analogy though. Seriously.
But they selling. They selling. Yeah, it's selling, bro. Whether you like it or not, it's selling. Continue.
Yeah, but this is good for the industry. Like people, like no one should be angry about this. This is so. I'm so happy for Microsoft that they're doing well because at the end of the day, this is good for the industry.
Facts.
We want to see competition. We want Sony and Microsoft to push each other because we're going to benefit. We're going to benefit.
How many systems? How many companies have we seen die? Like in our time, how many companies have we seen die?
A lot.
We seen. I started looking at companies because I was putting the names on the side of my the arcade cabinet I got coming, and I seen Data East, Taito. I seen companies that we actually were just looking forward to their games. And these guys are getting salty because they said that the console, we're dying. It's over. So if the console space dies, right? Think about it in this thing, right? If the console space dies, Microsoft has another avenue to go to. They go right to the PC.
Correct.
All right? Sony doesn't have another avenue to go to. The console space dies. They pretty much die there. Nintendo has another space to go to. They go to the handheld and dip off. So the fact that everybody is selling, this is the highest growth.
Beautiful.
The Switch is selling. The PlayStation, 100 million. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Facts.
You know, the Xbox, they not telling you the numbers, but the Sony dudes will always keep throwing on 35 million. They've been on 35 million for 4 years. Shut up. Right? But they're selling phenomenal. So that means obviously that number's a little bit different, bro. But why wouldn't you be happy? Because your chosen media, your chosen genre, your chosen entertainment sector is growing and it's becoming part of everybody's culture. How many gamers you see now? So why are they afraid of the sales of Microsoft? Why are they salty winners?
It's very interesting. I agree.
It's just validation.
Yeah, a lot of people. I think we've talked about it before. Again, so I'll jump in.
It's completely validation. It's that argument that you have to validate that your plastic is better than my plastic, and it's just you don't want to see it. And again, this behavior in grown men just really blows me away. But it's just that's what it is. It's just validating your purchase as opposed to the one you chose not to not the horse in the race not to happen. That's it. I mean, that's really all it is.
Native, this is not cardboard, you dumbass.
Language.
Those
Language.
Savage. That's in there for the King of the Statue shows. So I got more boxes upstairs.
King, they coming for the boxes, son. That's what it is.
Oh, you got cardboard in the back. I don't think they ship statues out in plastic bags like Bethesda.
I can't. Look, that's the thing. Oh, everybody's good on this because they put a fly.
It's no surprise. It's really no surprise to me that they're selling this well. They're really the only ones, if you think about it, who are constantly pushing their marketing on you in different ways, like whatever Game Pass, something new coming to Game Pass. They're constantly pushing ways for you to engage with them as in the ecosystem, whether it be the console, whether it be the PC. If you look at PlayStation feel they generally don't have to do that. Like the Spider-Man bundle, right, started pushing the narrative again, but beyond that, they don't necessarily push the narrative themselves. Same with Nintendo. Nintendo sort of doesn't push anything until now. Like you have the Pokemon bundle, you have the Smash bundle. They're really pushing the name. Microsoft, I feel, is the ones that throughout the entire year they're constantly telling you Game Pass, get this bundle, get that bundle. So it's at some point that's gonna pay off.
I feel you. Anchor, you good? You feel this is not fake news with the revenue?
I mean, again, what's the point to be mad about? What incentive does a man have to lie about that kind of thing?
But he's paid off.
That's the always look at the motivation behind people. Like that's why we were talking about earlier, like the whole thing with Jason Schreier, like. Dude's blacklisted. He has no reason to be defending Bethesda at all. And there's no point whatsoever for Mat Piscatella to be defending Microsoft or coming up with a lie. There's no reason to it.
Absolutely. I would agree. All right, that was it. Attic left. I'll just talk his topic and I'll just say my point and be out of here. Yeah, pretty much the NCP, Nintendo Creators Program. And for those that don't know, that's Nintendo's little thing as far as, monetizing, allowing them to monetize videos and content. They have gotten rid of it, which is a huge deal. Huge deal. And now, you don't have to worry about being flagged by Nintendo necessarily. So basically, Attic wanted to say, what do you guys think about that? And is the timing interesting based on the fact we know Pokemon is out, we know Smash. So I'm gonna give it to Solve because Switch Gang in the building.
Timing is very interesting.
But the timing's interesting too to me, Spell. I want your opinion real quick.
They want people seeing Smash anywhere, places, but they want people seeing Pokemon. Although Pokemon speaks for itself, but it never hurts to have more new eyes on it. So
facts.
So whatever the impetus was for this, it's a good thing. They need to stop with that foolishness. Let people make videos and praise your products as they want to do. Let them do that and make a little money off of it.
No doubt. Lord BRAP, what do you feel about the content creator, Nintendo content creator getting eliminated?
I think it's about time. I mean, for the life of me, I can never understand why Nintendo was against free advertising. Correct. This is what the content creators do. It's free advertising for your product. Why not let them have at it? I mean, and you build a community around that. I mean, that's where the future is. I mean, I don't know if we talked about Twitch or I don't know if you were on BRAP one time, Cognito. We were talking about no, it's King. We were talking about remember the thing with Jason Schreier, the future of journalism and how YouTubers are kind of becoming at the forefront of reporting news and just this digital world. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, this is they need to do this because it's again, like I said, it's a form of free advertising, and now you start building that digital community, and it isn't word of mouth like it used to be, like when we were growing up.
Yes,
it's word of mouth or social media now.
Right. So, Brad, do you think it was just more of a fear thing, that why they didn't allow it? They didn't want their games to be berated. YouTubers can be tough sometimes when they don't like stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think it probably is fear. It's probably them being very protective, as Nintendo has, like Disney with their IPs. But, I think somebody woke up and said, wait a minute, and with the timing of Smash Brothers is the perfect game. Perfect game to put out there on Twitch and YouTube and build a community out of that,
Yeah, absolutely. Now I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Anchor, what do you feel about timing, man?
I clearly it was planned to do it now. Now the online service is going out. Now that you have just everyone in general is just to be excited about Smash and Pokemon. Like it just that's the timing of it. But at the same time, I'm looking at it as like I don't know why Nintendo was worried about their games ever going through that, because they've been way more gameplay focused than story or anything else.
True.
Like they've always been way more focused on that. Like like if it was like Telltale or Sony or someone like that, where it's a heavy story experience, and once you do the story once, you're done. I could understand that. I could understand them having a stance against it, but
no doubt.
Like this didn't make any sense for them.
Yeah, Boss Move, shout out to 480p Gaming in 2018. Jonathan B, Nintendo did it because the PS Classic dropped and they wasn't ready for that PS 480p competition. He said Nintendo didn't discover YouTube until 6 months ago. I'm done with you. King, you good? You think it's good, bad, indifferent?
I think it's phenomenal. I'm about to put Mario in all my videos. So I cannot be flagged now. Y'all can just jump in. Y'all can see gameplay of Mario. I'm gonna do Mario. I'm gonna do Mario Kart. I'm gonna do all types. I'm gonna make it a Nintendo dedicated channel.
That would be hilarious.
It's gonna be playing Nintendo.
Oh, is CombatTalk now gonna change over to Smash Talk?
No, it's
Smash Talk with the
king.
Smash Talk.
Smash Talk with the king. No, I think that's great because you had a lot of people out there that wanted to highlight their favorite games, and their favorite games is Nintendo games. And for a long time, they weren't able to do that. And being that they lifted this band up, because they're actually like destroying that program, people are walking away from the program, and it wasn't being profitable. So they destroyed it, and in doing that, the benefit of it was allowing YouTubers to actually put that content up, because what it was doing was impeding the content to be showed, because they wanted it first on their platform and something like that, like the first right to view and all this other stuff. So the wording was wrong, and once that got abolished, it allowed for the content to be shown now for everybody. So it's just only a good thing. More content for everybody.
No doubt, man. Yeah, same thing. I pretty much agree with all Lords. I mean, I do think the timing is interesting, LordSov. I think that those initial stock concerns earlier this year, and remember the Switch was kind of banking on that backload of their biggest software at the end of the year. So to me, what way to gain more sales traction and visibility? Get that bad boy YouTube, get the content creators popping.
It'd be sounding like y'all guys actually work for Nintendo.
You know how it is, King. The way you represent for Phil, the way I do it for Todd Howard, the guy I do it for Reggie.
Anchor, I was just about to say it. I mean, the way Lord King, Lord Phil Spencer, Lord Forgotten, Son.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Phil Spencer, bending knee.
And we got God Howard here.
Oh man. It's crazy because when you start to see other people, no, y'all are terrible. Y'all two is absolutely terrible.
You just gotta get the stuff that we give them any sort of prize.
You don't want them to get no lights off. Like, you mentioned, they spit a hot verse yesterday.
Yeah, okay, all right. I want y'all to tell me this, right? I want y'all to tell me this. Right? I want the heyday of the Switch, because the heyday is gone.
Oh,
all right. Lord. The heyday of the Switch.
No, I gotta agree with King on this. I have not played my Switch all year.
It's in the bushes.
And because you two have not played,
and I'm gonna tell you,
we all know that the NPD numbers don't mean anything.
But I'm the casual though. I'm the casual. We're not the.
But Zelda push, the Mario push. All right, and Mario Kart, whatever. My kids play that, right? That's not an exclusive, so that was just rehash. But the game that they did with the rabbits,
Mario Battle Kingdom,
right? So those 3 games validated my Switch for me. Give me 3 more.
I feel you. And for you right now, it's not there. For the rest of the people, they're happy, man.
You get Animal Crossing. I don't know if you care about Animal Crossing.
When people try to tell me the best game you got right now is LA Noire.
Listen, that Pokemon's out, Anchor. If you want to be about that,
it's not new.
It's the first Pokemon game, just all over again.
Yo, No, it's see that's
but Anchor, some people don't know that.
I'm not stupid though.
But they're not banking on you. They're banking on us casual fools. That don't know.
I just want new stuff. Is that too much to ask for?
I feel you. Like, not for you guys right now. I completely understand.
When is it gonna be for me though?
It might not be for you. It might not ever be
it's
for you.
losing value inside my
You know what? But you know what, King? They happy that you bought it.
Yo.
You're not getting that.
No joke. Like my brother was talking about getting the Switch for him and his girlfriend to play. I was this close to just say like, this is your Christmas gift. Just take mine. Like I'm not playing it. I'm like, I don't even care about Smash anymore. I don't even care.
I'm not
Like,
so let's get out of here. New ILP poll this week. In regards to the continued negative press that Fallout 76 has received regarding Metacritic reviews, game functionality, and the collector's edition bag, do you think media outlets have unfairly adopted a pile-on mentality in regards to the game? The choices are A, yes. Fallout 76 is an easy target for clickbait journalism and those who have not played the game. Hey, can you like that one a minute? B.
No, I'm going with option C, whatever option C is.
No. Fallout 76 game quality and Bethesda themselves are to blame. Or C. I don't care unless my collector's bag don't have that premium canvas. No. Please rock the ILP vote at the end when it goes up. Lord BRAP and Lord Anchor, an absolute pleasure to have you both back in the realm. Lord BRAP, man, it's been way too long, man. Great to have you. Where can the fine people find you?
Look, I'm gonna have a little bit of a long outro here.
Let's go.
First of all, I just want to give I want to give a shout out to the Four Horsemen of Gaming, and I just want to say I love coming on your podcast. I love what you guys are doing. You guys are one of the best podcasts that I listen to.
Thank you so much.
And just keep up the great work, guys. I mean, seriously, I love it. Every Sunday's great, and just keep doing your thing.
Thank you.
So thank you. It's an honor, seriously, for me to come on.
The world coming for you. And shout out to BRAP Podcast, fantastic podcast. Shout out to team B Money, Slow Mo, Black Snap, my man Forte. You know what I'm saying? Eric Jackson is a great group of guys. These guys have a great podcast. Please plug the Basement Radio Arcade podcast, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can at BRAP_podcast. And if you go on YouTube, you can find us at the Basement Radio Arcade Podcast. Give us, if you haven't sub and hit that bell button so you get notifications when we go live and when new content comes up. And we go live every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come check us out. And I also want to say, Anchor, man, it was a pleasure podcasting with you, man. I haven't done a podcast with you in quite a long time, man. So it's great, great talking video games with you again, and love your passion, man. Love your passion for gaming. So
facts. And shout out to both of y'all for being respectful, being on both sides, letting everybody finish. That was great to see, and shows that everybody can have different viewpoints and still come together and enjoy these great games. Lord Anchorman, first of all, salute, because you are like one of our original friends to the realm. You showed us the light. You know what I'm saying? You let people know about the ILP. So salute for always coming through. And also salute for riding with God Howard all the way to the bitter end. You are a national treasure, sir. I had to get you on this cast, and thank you for coming through last minute. Where can the fine people find you? What you got going on?
You guys can find me on Twitter and everything else at AnchormanV2. So Multiverse Show is on our own channel. Just called Multiverse Show. We also have our own Twitter account, just Multiverse Show as well. We go live at 8 p.m. on Monday nights Eastern Time.
Woo!
And thanks.
No doubt. Shout out to Jonathan B. He said Lord Jason Schreier, a.k.a. Anchorman, was fire.
That's funny.
Lord Attic had to dip. His new computer will be coming. So we got an hour out of Attic today, so I was happy. Lord Sol, where can the fine people find you? What you got going on?
Yeah, first off, big shout out to Lord BRAP and Lord Anchorman. You guys are not, you aren't guests. You guys are ILP family.
Thank you.
Up, you guys, from the very beginning, you guys have been super supportive of us. And it's just, you're not guests. You're home as well. And I just want to say thanks to everybody out there who with the well wishes for my family and of course my anniversary. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I hope you guys like the new and improved sound after we've been we got mic shamed last week.
Shout out to Dealer Gaming for shaming Iron Lord podcast audio. So he lit a fire under us. We all got our Yetis.
Bang, bang.
We all
Samson. I got that Samson.
Exactly. Oh, that's right. So you got that. That's right. You got that premium. You know what I'm saying? The rest of us got Yetis. You got that premium. But salute to RDX and those guys. We were on. Me and King were on them this week, and they gave us constructive criticism. They love our show. They want us to take it to the level. And salute to the Patreon, because without you guys, this stuff couldn't happen. So thank you for dealing with our audio prior. I saw they were dealing with us.
They were just dealing with us. Yeah, thank you. We appreciate that. But yeah, you guys can hopefully playing some Red Dead this week. I didn't get to touch anything last week, so hopefully get back to some Red Dead. But you guys can find me on Twitter, LordSovILP, retweeting until my fingers fall off, and then you can find me on Xbox Live and PSN BX Sovereign.
No doubt. Lord King, the canvas bag champion.
First of all, it's funny. Like I got like little stories with everybody. I got a little story with Anchor with the book bag. Remember that Anchor out in Cali. That's my dude, Mr. Met E3. Be honest with you,
you miss him.
And he has always been super supportive. Always an ear that he can lend. And you know, when I want to talk, and I have the same ear for him, he can talk to me at any time. So that's like it's family. Me and BRAP got a little story too. And I'm trying to get him back in the game since the game is fixed. We played the game and the game was all broken. Let's get
PUBG.
While the game is fixed, we don't play the game when it's good. We was when it was bad. So I want to get him on there, and I love going on this show. And like I said, their family, you know, Sovereign said it, you know, best, like they are families. It's totally different than that. We are real people. Like we really like reach out to people. We really like connect with people. Like I'm trying to get BRAP to go with us to E3.
Word.
So,
yes.
That's a real thing. Like we got space in the house, bro.
Yes.
They got their own space.
Yeah, so you know that's the thing. All right. For me. KOS, the boxes for
Irrelevant don't like them boxes, son.
Native, bruh. See, I don't get little statues that come inside those little, you know, those PVC craps. You see them right there, right? Those $1,000 statues. Watch your mouth.
Watch your cardboard box mouth.
Watch your mouth. That's for KOS. All right, King of Statues is coming. I know you'll see the promo of it. CombatTalk, you can catch me there. But also, we got other stuff that's cooking. If y'all looked at them shirts, those shirts is up. And I really want y'all to go check them out. Rep Your Lords.
Rep Your Lord.
Crazy. I hope y'all love the new camera angle. That's the 4K jump off right there. Logitech. The new joint that just came out. That's that right there. You see that ring? That's also Iron Lord's official. Yeah. When you tell us to step it up, that's how champs respond. They get up off that canvas. Like the Undertaker,
Tyson Fury,
and bring that heat. Thank you, dealer, for giving the constructive criticism so we can get better. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. The same here, man. Look, fantastic show again. Shout out to Anchorman. Shout out to BRAP, man. This was so fun. This is family, like Lord Sov said. And like I said, man, it's always good to reconnect with fam because it just feels like an extended episode with just us chilling. So yeah, man, we got that. You already know the audio is gonna go up later. Shout out to Lord Kaibatsu. We'll get that going. Also, I gotta get you. What's up?
Time out. Jay Fonzarelli definitely hit it. It's a special combat talk coming the 29th of December. Is a podcast. All right, so it's not just a regular combat talk that you're gonna go to YouTube and check that out. It's gonna be an actual panel. We're gonna be tweeting that out. Jay Fonzarelli, myself, LordCognito. Who else? LordCognito. Who else is in there?
We got Meds, Lord Meds. You know what I'm saying? And obviously Native, man. So
yes, Native.
It's gonna be
Native. We all in there.
Talk. We're going to have that. We're gonna link up with Fonz. It's gonna be lit. And I don't want to spoil it, Fonz, because we got a very special professional guest, but I don't want to spoil that yet until that you know, is confirmed. You know what I'm saying? So we'll keep that tight for right now, Fonz. But yeah, stay tuned to that. It could be very special on Combat Talk.
Yeah, that's Combat Talk with the Kings.
With the Kings, plural. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. So like I said, the audio and all that stuff will go up. Obviously, please check out that Combat Talk. King is out here killing it. Please salute the stream team, y'all. Jump in this stream, even if it's for a second. It really means the left. We're very close to Twitch affiliate status. So please, if you see stream team, if you see L Boogie, if you see Snaldo, if you see Lord MJ, if you see Lord Delapo, just jump in there. If we get 3 people in there, we're very thankful. We're so close to getting Twitch affiliate status, so please do that. Lord Kabatsu will have the audio up. Also, Flashpoint 41 with Ebontis is up. Fantastic episode. Talked about Black Armory that's coming for the Destiny Hardcore, and there's a spoiler cast at the end.
Watch it after Tuesday. I was in there and they made me run for the hills, son. Watch it after Tuesday.
There's a spoiler cast that's at the end that we warn you multiple times that at the end, if you don't want to know certain things, you know, leave on that note. But yeah, man, shout out to my bro, Ebontis. That is up. I'm going to put the last link for these shirts. That is the Difficult Game Conqueror one. And I will put the last one, which will be the actual Sostradamus. And then you can get that on the way out. You know what I'm saying? Real quick. But Sov, do you got anything on the Patreon thing before we roll out?
No, the Patreon stuff, everybody. Congrats to everybody who won. Congrats to our Gleam winner. I'll get all that info out to you by either later today or tomorrow. Get all that stuff out to you guys. So congrats to everyone. And like I said, like come January, there will be some changes, but there's no point in talking about that now. We'll just figure everything out, and then we'll talk in January.
Obviously. And last but not least, there is an Ireland Discord. We will get that information to you. It's going to be lordsofgaming.net. So it's really popping in there. Please, we're on Discord. We're getting it popping. Check us out over there, and I will try to get that information to you guys. Good. We've gone long. Everybody enjoy their Sunday. If anybody got anything else? Nope. All right. We out of here. Peace.
Peace.